You're listening to Carolina Forest Panther Football on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network. And it starts right now.
Hello and welcome to a chilly Bagwell Stadium here at Fort Dorchester High School as the Carolina Forest Panthers get ready to take on the Fort Dorchester Patriots in the third round of the SEHSL playoffs with a shot at the lower state championship for the winner. My name is Brandon Biskuping. I'll be bringing you all the action this evening. And joining me as usual is Preston Payne as the 8-4 Carolina Forest Panthers get ready to take on the 9-3 Fort Dorchester Patriots. And Preston, while the last 2 weeks certainly were good for the Panthers in terms of just firing on all cylinders and finally getting the team going the way we expected it to all season long, this is by far the biggest test that the Panthers have in the playoffs.
And I think from here on out, it obviously it only gets harder.
Yes,
but
of course.
From here on out, it's going to show you two things. One, how truly good is this team? And two, how much has Scotty improved from last year? Because Carolina Forest comes down here. I'm sorry, I'm sure you were going to bring this up anyway, but yes. Carolina Forest came down here last year, lost by like 25.
A little more
I was
than
about to say 30.
that,
I was about to say
think.
30, but I don't know.
I will get you the exact number. Just 32.
32. So we saw last year Scotty lead that team here and lead them into defeat. Has Scotty progressed, which I think he has? Has he progressed enough to where this Carolina Forest team can walk into Bagwell Stadium and take away a win from Fort Dorchester?
Well, a couple of things to talk about when it comes to that game last season. For one, that was the second game of the season for the Panthers. So they weren't quite at prime form yet.
Right. And
kind of along the lines of how it was this year with, like if the Panthers take on Somerville again next week, assuming they win this game, that would be the storyline going into that game, is the fact that you played them early on in the season, but how much has this team improved since then? And, I mean, granted, for both teams, for both Fort Dorchester and for Carolina Forest, these two teams are very different than what they were last year.
Right.
Obviously, the Panthers not having Luke Janak, but for Fort Dorchester, it's even more so because Malik Horlback, who was a big linebacker last year at Presbyterian now, as well as Demetrius Watson, who was the defensive end or defensive tackle, who clogged up that middle and was hell for Janak last season. He's at South Carolina now. So two big pieces of that defense that the Panthers had a hard time going up against last season are gone.
Right.
Now, granted, the focal point of the offense for Fort Dorchester, who is Zoltan Osborne, he is still here. He is a senior. So that the offensive aspect of that game last year is certainly the same. But, like we've talked about all season long, the defense for Carolina Forest has gotten a lot better as well. So that's going to be the big matchup tonight is, can the Panther defense play well and keep up this streak of hot starts defensively,
right,
and subdue Zoltan Osborne and the Patriot offense?
And I think it's going to be a testament to how well this defense actually is, because whether they can stop Zoltan Osborne.
Yeah. So we'll take a quick break for the national anthem and come right back with some more thoughts and get you ready for kickoff here in the third round of the SEHSL playoffs.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back as we are just a few minutes away from kickoff. Still 8 minutes on the clock. A little early national anthem tonight. But that'll give us a little more time to get you guys prepared for this third round matchup. Just looking ahead, obviously, both of these teams, gunning for that lower state championship game. Winner of this game, and we talked about this last week, obviously, in the lower state, now with only 3 regions exclusively to the lower state, it's a little different now in terms of, how many options you have to pick. But Region 5 and Region 7, hands down, are the cream of the crop in the lower state, because the number 1 and number 2 teams in Region 5 and Region 7 are the 4 that are left right now. But Somerville and Sumter are playing tonight at Somerville. Or actually, I take that back. It's at Sumter. You're right. You're right. And so that will be the other game to keep an eye out for, as the winner of this game will face off against the winner of that game for the lower state championship. And so now they're announcing the players. They've got a nice. We were talking about this while we were off the air. They run through the middle tunnel right in the middle of the grand in the middle of the bleachers on the home side. And this is a very nice stadium.
It is, and we were talking about it during the national anthem, but it's a very simplistic stadium. It's not necessarily like flashy. It's not turf. It's just grass, but it's well-maintained grass. And we've always said well-maintained grass is better than turf. But looking to this game, I was talking with Ian up here before you got up here, and I looked at him, and I was like, look, maybe I'm a little biased from obviously being a Carolina Forest reporter. But could this be a game where if first team to get a stop wins? With how good the running game and the passing game is for Fort Dorchester, because not to discount the passing game for Fort Dorchester, but the running game has been what has got them through the injury for
Zoltan Osborne.
Zoltan Osborne.
Who you were talking to me on the way down.
I lied to you. So he did miss 3 games.
Yeah.
I was not wrong about that. However, he is active tonight.
Yes,
he's actually playing. And I was right about Fort Dorchester coming in on the buses as on the.
Yes.
So that's another cool entrance for the Fort Dorchester Patriots. I think it's their offense and defensive line come in on buses and they're shaking the bus. It's just cool, just random cool things that Fort Dorchester does. But again, going into really the game itself, it's gonna come down to stopping. It's going to come down to stopping the offense and scoring.
Thank you very much,
right,
Captain Obvious.
That was some great insight there, but it's deeper, a little bit deeper than that. They have two very good running backs, and we've always said that the Carolina Forest defense thrives in third and long and second and long. This is going to be the real test as to whether or not that it holds true.
Well, we talked about it. It's very similar, actually, to how it was last year, where it's going to be either the defense has to make stops or the offense just needs to keep up. And that's going to be the big question on both fronts.
And what's interesting is if both happens,
then
we win.
Then the Panthers can get a big win.
But again, if neither
that's
if
a
neither
big
happens,
if.
Also if neither happens, you know what that means?
It's
going
to be a
long
big.
night.
It's going to be a long night. Exactly. As the coin toss is occurring on the field right now, we will give you the results of that in just a second. A few interesting little notes for this game. First off, the fact it looks like the Panthers won the toss. We'll see what they choose to do. This is something else we were talking about on the way here. You were saying maybe you want the ball in this game to get some momentum offensively, but I can understand. My philosophy is always that, you defer so that you start the second half with the ball. And if you do fall behind, you have that kind of cushion, that leeway to where you do get an extra possession, essentially.
But you forgot the caveat to my wanting the ball to start the first half with the ball. It was if we know we're going to score a touchdown.
Yes,
because of how good the running game is for Fort Dorchester. They put up 400.
Panthers have done over the last couple of weeks when they've gotten that two-dimensional offense going. Mm-hmm. If you can shut down.
Right.
So a few notes for this game as we are just moments away from kickoff. The Panthers have played Fort Dorchester 6 times prior to tonight.
Let me guess. 0-6?
0-6, yeah.
So, honestly, it almost feels like a Sumter type thing where going into the Sumter game, I said that was a winnable game.
Yeah.
This
feels
like a winnable game.
Could be a winnable game.
It could be.
Yes.
If the Carolina Forest team from the past 4 weeks shows up tonight, the one that has scored 56, 41, 42, and 55 points in the past 4 weeks, I think this is a game. I think this is a ball game.
Some transitive property stuff real quick.
We're throwing some math at you here.
Yep. Carolina Forest only beat, now granted this was earlier on in the season, only beat Stratford 17-14.
Yeah.
In the first round of the playoffs, Fort Dorchester beat Stratford 37-21.
What's interesting about that, though, they gave up 21 points.
Yeah.
For a Fort Dorchester team, obviously, okay, we gave up 14, but 21 points to that Stratford team seems like
a lot.
Like a lot. If that's the defense that we see against Carolina Forest tonight, this could be my type of game. This could be this could be a basketball score by the time we're done with it.
Ian Guerin did predict a pretty high-scoring game, so
Although I don't like the result of his.
Yes, of course.
But we're moments away from kickoff, but this right here is the test. This is the SAT of high school football this season.
The Carolina Forest season. This is basically everything had been leading up to this game, and now you have to show what you're made of. As both teams getting about to take the field. Fort Dorchester already on the field. Carolina Forest in the huddle, and now takes the field to get this game underway.
Surprise onside kick. And
And
I want to see Coach Mark Morris be aggressive in this game.
And the Panthers are looking to make the lower state championship game for the second time in first time 2019, they lost to Dutch Fork.
Yeah. And that seems about par for the course for 5A.
As we are underway here at Bagwell Stadium, a little Pooch kick and taken down at around the 31-yard line. Number 6.
If you can find
That
him.
is, let's see. I think it was trying to get through the line, but not able to go much of anywhere as the prowl of Panthers. The offensive line does push him forward for a gain of a couple.
Gain of 4.
Gain of 4. That was Harvey Livingston.
Carolina Forest defense needs to make sure that they force 2nd and long, 3rd and long, get that pass rush of active on the front lines.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side as well as the H-back. They'll hand yeah, they do hand it off to Reynolds. Reynolds gets through the hole. He got the first down and more, and finally gets pulled down from behind at the 48-yard line, and that'll be enough for a Fort Dorchester first down.
And that is not what we cannot have that all night. But another thing, Carolina Forest defense has started slow the past by about 4 weeks. They've given up an opening drive touchdown at least the past 4 weeks. And this defense gets better as the game goes on, and it'll be interesting to see if that's what happens this game as well.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Osborne takes a snap, hands it off again this time, and finding an open hole, and he's got one man to beat, and he is gone. That is number 2, Davian Brown, with the 48-yard scamper. And just like that, Fort Dorchester gets on the board early. It's 6-0, and with the extra point, it will be 7-0 with just over a minute off the clock, just under a minute and a half off the clock in the first quarter.
And, well, we got our answer if the defense was going to give a first drive touchdown very quickly.
And they did.
They did. But outside of that, kind of par for the course for this defense the past 4 weeks.
Because they gave up, if you remember correctly, or if you remember back to last week, as the extra point is up and good by Christian Wilson, and it's 7-0. Last week against Goose Creek, the Panthers gave up a quick first drive touchdown and then shut the door down after that.
Right.
So not unsurprising, disappointing, but not unsurprising that the Carolina Forest defense gives up a touchdown to start off the game. Right.
But again, it's going to come down to
who can make the stop.
Who can make the stop? But also, I don't. This is a bold prediction, I know, but I don't think that Fort Dorchester's offense gets shut down like Goose Creek's.
No.
Not even by a long shot. No. But again, it's going to.
Goose Creek, if they were in any other region in the lower state, would have been like, well, they,
a 4 or 5 seed. Honestly,
well, they won every game in the region, but they probably would have been like a 2 or 3 seed at most.
Right.
Just
anywhere
based on
else.
Competition.
Right. So now it's up to the offense to respond, and this is going to be the exciting part. If we can get a back and forth game going, this could be a very, very, very fun game.
As Christian Wilson gets ready to kick it off.
And he does. And it'll be kicked towards Anthony, fielded at the 11-yard line. He's going to bring it out. He's going to make one guy miss, and he's going to run into his own player, and that's where he will be taken down right at the 17-yard line, and that's where the offense will start out their drive.
Very disappointing return right there. Right, he made the nice move to start off, and then he ran into his own player.
Right, ran into, I believe that was number 14, Ethan Hamilton, who he ran into, but just not a fun time running into your own player.
So the Panthers will start at their own 18-yard line. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side.
Got Hayden in the slaughter for this play. He's gonna
Saylor moves Hayden Kine over to the H-back position on the far side. Takes a snap, hands it off to Zion Gilbert. Gilbert is able to break away from one defender, but is wrapped up shortly thereafter and only gets a gain of a couple. They'll say he only got 1. So it'll be 2nd and 9. Again, another game that we're set up on the visitors' side right. of the field, and thus it's harder to see where the first down marker is. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Saylor goes with the speed option. He'll keep himself oh no! He almost pitched. He thought about pitching it, but then he gets pulled down for a loss of 1. Actually, loss of 3. And it'll now be 3rd and 12, yeah.
This is not the start you want if you're a Carolina Force
not
fan.
At all.
But this has always been back up against the wall. This is where the offense has worked their magic somehow, some way, always getting a first down. Can they continue to live off pixie dust, if you will, and get a first down?
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. This is certainly a passing position for the Panthers. Sailor takes a snap, 3-step drop, looking, now steps up into the pocket and gets pulled down from behind. That is number 91, the defensive tackle, Jaden Acevedo, who comes in from behind to take down Sailor. And it will be 4th down, and the Panthers will have to punt from deep in their own territory all the way back at the 9-yard line.
And Fort Dorchester still has nobody back. I don't understand how
–
there was no time for Scotty to get off a pass, even look down the field on that
smart job by Scott to step up in the pocket and try to find some room, but –
just none to be found.
Yeah. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either –
repeatedly.
And that was Ethan Hamilton who made the tackle.
They're just winning and creating gaps for Brown to run through, and it's not looking good for this Carolina Force defensive line.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Snap, hands it off to Brown again. Brown tries to find the hole, bounces it around the corner, gets past one man, and brings a couple of defenders with him all the way down to the 6-yard line. And that'll be another Fort Dorchester first down, and it's 1st and goal already for the Patriots.
This looks like last year.
Yeah.
This looks like defense from last year, and the Browns' speed on the outside is going to be something that we look to stop and right now almost.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side, and what a
play action!
Oh no, it's a read option, and Zoltan Osborne keeps it himself. A great job by Manning Hit coming around the corner and blowing up Davian Brown, but the read option worked to perfection, and Zoltan Osborne is able to just walk into the end zone for the touchdown.
That reminds me of Peyton Manning was playing the Dallas Cowboys, and everyone sold out on the running back, and Peyton Manning, who is very slow, just walks into the end zone.
Yeah.
And when that happens, that means you left no responsibility on the edge for the quarterback as the extra point is up and good. So that stretches the 14-0 lead for the Fort Dorchester Patriots.
Just over 4 minutes off the clock, 7:56 left to go in the first quarter. This is not looking good.
No, it is not, and it's very quickly gone from bad to worse.
Yeah. And I get what you're saying, that was a very poor defensive effort on that last play, but with how well Davian Brown was running it on the last few plays, you can understand why the defense was so focused on him, and Zoltan Osborne was able to run the read option to perfection.
Right, but the thing was, it wasn't even necessarily a read option. It was just a play-action rollout, and they ran engage 11. Yeah. There was not a soul on the outside to stop Osborne from walking into that end zone, and that comes down to just not taking account for the quarterback in the backfield.
Fort Dorchester kicks it off, and Aponte will field it at the 10-yard line. He'll get a bit of a hole, and he will get up to the 26-yard line, and that's where the Panthers will start on offense.
And it's very rare that you hear someone say this with 7:50 to go.
Ooh, and that's not good.
What?
Anthony Aponte coming up limping.
Oh, no. That's not good. But again, it's very hard, or it's very rare that you hear someone say this with 7:50 to go in the first quarter of a football game, but this is a must-score drive.
Yes.
You've seen what the defense has done in the past 2 drives. You have to go get a score here.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Sailor takes a snap, play action pass, a short little slant route to Nathan Schuessler, and he makes the catch. He'll get taken down at around the 34-yard line. They'll give it, they will say was taken down at the 34-yard line. Nice little slant route to get a little confidence going, a 7-yard gain on that pass.
And not a bad first down play, and I think this is going to be a spot where Carolina Force looks to do a little bit more of a methodical drive.
Yeah.
Not looking for the deep play, but just trying to work the ball methodically down the field.
Shotgun set, one wide on either side. Saylor takes a snap, does a quick little semi-read option and gets a ton of pressure, tries to get the throw off, and he does. He is able to get it off before the pressure took him down. But once again, the offensive line just completely collapsing, and there were 3 guys around Scott Saylor before he even had a shot.
Right, and I think the adjustment Mark Morris needs to make now is...
Well, it seems like he has a little bit because instead of there being 3 or 4 wide, he's brought in 2 tight ends.
Right.
Now.
But you need to move Scotty before the pass rush makes him move. That's the adjustment.
Shotgun set, one wide on the other side. He's able to make one-man miss. He gets a high throw up to Nate Schusler. Nate Schusler carries a defender all the way down to the 40-yard line, and that'll be enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
What a play.
Scotty
had there was a free rusher off the edge, and all Scotty did was pump
fake
and got it in the air.
Made him go up from behind at the 49-yard line
and now
after a gain of 9.
And there's a flag that happened at the very end of the play, and I couldn't quite tell what's going to happen, and Hayden's reaction tells me that this is going to be a flag on Carolina Forest.
Probably a holding call.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait to see what the call is. It is a holding on Carolina Forest.
Yeah, that, especially when you get a 9-yard run on first down, that hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts a lot. The refs are still discussing this, though. I don't know what's going on. I think they're about to mark it off now. Yeah, they are. Okay. Yeah. I was really confused as to what was going on.
Why they were still talking about it, yeah.
Right.
But so that will move Carolina Forest
only 2 yards.
A couple of yards
because
back.
of where the penalty was.
So it'll be 1st and 12 from the 38-yard line.
A lot better than 1st and 20.
Yes. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side, the 2 tight ends on the far side. We'll see if they go with the same play again. They do not. It's a 2-step drop. They'll get it out to Aponte on the near side flat, and he'll get pushed out of bounds at the 46-yard line.
So I think what we're seeing right now is Fort Dorchester has done their homework. Mm-hmm. I think they realize that we are a big play, big passing offense, and now it's going to be up to Scotty to just take what the defense gives him. Take the underneath routes.
It reminds me of the Somerville game.
It does.
But instead of just going with slant routes, they're using multiple routes. They're using hitch routes. They're using out routes. They're mixing it up.
And I do like the adjustment from Mark Morris to switch to a 2 tight end look.
Yeah.
And give Scotty maybe a little bit extra time in his passing progression.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off to Khalil Johnson, and Khalil Johnson will be held up after a gain of 1. So it'll be 3rd and 4 from the 46-yard line.
And that was a run right up the middle from Khalil Johnson. You can know how that play ended just by me saying Khalil Johnson run up the middle. This is not going to be a Khalil Johnson game.
No.
This is going to have to be a Zion Gilbert. If they're going to run the ball, it's going to have to be Zion Gilbert.
Which we've only seen Zion Gilbert on the field once thus far.
Right.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Saylor rolls out to his right and then throws back to Owen Hall, who makes a couple of men miss and gets taken down at around the 40-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 41 for another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
What a great play by Owen Hall.
Yeah.
Low throw because Scotty was kind of on his back foot after being pressured, and that was just a great – he made one guy miss coming off a curl with a blocker in front of him, and then just kind of moved upfield and got the first down. He knew the situation, didn't need to make more than one guy miss, so he just ran straight forward. Yeah. He got the first down and got the yardage needed.
It was only he only needed a couple of yards, so that's what helped.
Right. But he didn't make it more complicated than it needed to be and just ran straight forward as Zion Gilbert is coming back into the game. And the refs are doing something. I think there's a flag.
Yeah, I think there's a flag. Looks like there's a flag on Fort Dorchester because they're moving the ball up.
Face mask.
Okay.
Thanks, Ian.
Ian Guerin over in the other room telling us the call. So that'll put the Panthers up at the 26-yard line. And, hey, this is exactly the drive that the Panthers needed to get a little momentum and get some confidence back.
And they're moving methodically down the field.
Yeah.
They're taking what the defense is giving them, and what the defense is giving them is 5-yard pass and then run after the catch.
Shotgun set, one wide on either side. Saylor takes a snap. Read option, hands it. Decides to keep it himself, does Saylor, but he will get taken down very quickly for a loss of 2.
With how aggressive Fort Dorchester's defense is playing, read option, play action
doesn't work.
Is not going to work because they're going to send – it's like running a blitz against play action in Madden. They're going to send everybody either way. It doesn't matter. Slants and out routes are going to be the go-to bread and butter for this Carolina Forest offense, not read option in this game.
Or comebacks.
Comebacks as well.
Shotgun set, one wide on either side.
The only thing with comebacks, though, is that they take a while to develop.
Yes. Saylor takes a snap, two-step drop. He tries to go deep.
Play action. That's pass interference. There it is.
It is missed by Owen Hall, but his defender was draped all over him. And that will be a pass interference on Fort Dorchester.
Number 1, I don't know who that is.
That is Nick McGill.
And one thing that was mentioned to me before the game was that these corners are long. They are a tall bunch for Dorchester. However, if you get beat like number 1 did for Dorchester just now, you have to hold him.
Yeah, both Nick McGill and Chris Brabham, the two cornerbacks, are both 6 foot. Taylor low snap. He'll hand it off to Zion Gilbert, and Gilbert will try to plow his way through the line. Will get held up by a platoon of Patriots.
I was wondering what group name you were going to use there. I would have said militia.
Militia, there we go. I was trying to figure out the better one. He'll get held up at the 11-yard line by a militia of Patriots.
There is a illegal motion, though, on Carolina Forest, so that'll get taken back.
Get pushed back.
Legal shift, I should say, not a legal motion. But either way, 5-yard penalty, bringing them back to the 19-yard line. And still, I would venture to take the one-on-one with Nate. I don't really care who Fort Dorchester has on that corner. I would take Nathan Schuessler on that one-on-one.
Mm-hmm. So it will be 1st and 14. Shotgun set, one wide on either side. Saylor takes the snap. He'll go speed option, pitches it out to Gilbert, and he fumbles it. And I think luckily for the Panthers, it will roll out of bounds. Oh, no. They say the Patriots pick it up for the fumble recovery. And now that's 2 weeks in a row that Zion Gilbert has bobbled one of those speed option pitches. And Fort Dorchester takes over on offense at their own 18-yard line. Wow. And just like that, it looked like the Panthers were starting to get some momentum, and then the fumble loss destroys all that momentum.
I'm not one to overreact, but that might have
been... That might be...
not the nail in the coffin,
game, but
it's going to be very hard now.
Especially if Fort Dorchester scores here. Again.
Right.
And they'll run it, hand it off, trying to get around the corner, and does for a moment, but taken down after a gain of a couple is number 22, Zion Reynolds.
To your point, that is now 2 straight weeks that Zion Gilbert has fumbled a speed option pitch. And you would think they wouldn't, especially because Zion isn't that type of runner. That's a Khalil Johnson
type of play.
Right.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off again to Reynolds, and this time he gets wrapped up by a prowl of Panthers for I'm not sure, I think he lost one. If anything, he got back to the line of scrimmage. But either way, a good stop for the Panthers, and it's now 3rd and 5.
And this, we might see with how the offense has been running the football, I don't think we see a pass here. But this could be a position where we see the first pass of the night for the Fort Dorchester Patriots. I'll be all right. I promise.
And something kind of interesting, Fort Dorchester is like, well, you were talking about it during the pregame. They're very methodical with the ball, and they get into a huddle at least a little bit on offense. Shotgun set, one wide on either side. They'll hand it off again to Reynolds. Reynolds gets around the corner. He's got the first down and more and steps out of bounds at we'll see where they mark him. They're going to mark him down at the 39-yard line. Thought he got a little further than that. But either way, it is enough for a Fort Dorchester first down.
In order to come back into a game, you have to get stops on third down. That was not a stop on third down. That was the opposite of that. That was... Oof.
Shotgun set, one wide on either side. They'll hand it off once again to Reynolds. Reynolds plows through the line and still going. And, it's actually Brown. Davion Brown takes it through the hole and gets all the way up to the Carolina Forest 49-yard line, and that's enough for another Fort Dorchester first down.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
This has been complete and utter domination in all facets of the game right now for in favor of Fort Dorchester, and Carolina Forest is just getting repeatedly socked in the mouth.
And as they hand it off again to Brown, and he'll get taken down at the 44-yard line. It's like, have you seen that quote by Greg Maddux, who said, like, I can tell you what I'm gonna throw, but
and
you can't
stop it.
You can't hit it. That's exactly what Fort Dorchester is doing right here. The Panthers know what's coming. With the exception of that one read option earlier, but they know what's coming, yet they can't stop it.
Right. And just the defense, it all comes down to the defensive line. The defensive line is getting pushed around like there's no tomorrow.
Well, I mean, when you've got as they hand it off, Brown gets the hole and gets pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line, and that'll be another Fort Dorchester first down. But when you have offensive guards, offensive linemen that are 324 pounds, 305 pounds,
it's hard to move.
That's gonna happen.
Right. They're gonna push Fort Dorchester. So it'll be 2nd and 11. Ball on the 50-yard line. Shotgun set, one wide on either side. They'll hand it off, this time to Reynolds. Reynolds bounces off a defender and gets out into the corner and gets the first down. And, they'll mark him right at the first down marker, just short of it, and at the 40-yard line. And that is the perfect reflection of what we saw last year.
Yeah.
There was 3 people around Reynolds, except nobody felt the need to make an actual tackle on him. And therefore, he just bounced to the outside and got a gain of 10 on 2nd 11, and setting up 3rd and 1, which I'd be willing to put a lot of money on that they get.
This is a big third down with less than half a minute left to go in the first quarter. Panthers could get some momentum going into the end of the quarter if they're able to make a big stop here. And a whistle is blown. Timeout is called by Fort Dorchester. Kind of surprising to see a timeout called by the Patriots at this point in the game.
So I think the running back went out of bounds on that previous play, and I don't think anybody on Fort Dorchester's team or staff realized that. So they didn't have an actual play call set up for that play, which is why they called the timeout. Because I could see that Osborne was pointing to the clock saying, there's the clock's not running. What are we doing? So that's probably what the timeout was about. This game has gotten out of hand very fast.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
one can hope that it's like the Oceanside game.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen so far, it's going to be very hard.
I mean, granted, it is only a 2-possession game right now.
Yeah, but 3rd and 1 on the Carolina Forest 40 does not bode well for a stop here.
Oh, no, I agree with you there.
So, I don't know. Especially if you don't get a stop here, I don't know that you can come back into this game from what I've seen so far right now.
Yeah. Shotgun set, one wide on either side. They'll hand it off to Reynolds again, and this time, no, he's able to push forward. He's right at the line. They're going to mark him down at the 40. It's going to be fourth and one.
Wow.
And you were saying?
Oh, I stand by what I said.
I understand this, but
because
that
will be the end of the first quarter. That will
be the end of the first quarter, and it's going to be very interesting to see, does Fort Dorchester go for it on fourth down when we come back from the break? So we'll take a quick break, come right back with the second quarter. 14-0 Fort Dorchester in the lead here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Start of the second quarter as Fort Dorchester is up 14-0 on Carolina Forest. And a big fourth down and inches to start off the second quarter.
Now, I'll tell you what. If Carolina Forest gets a stop here, I owe them all the credit in the world because stopping this running game on back-to-back
fourth and shorts, or third and
one and fourth and one, that would be huge. As Davion Brown is in as a Wildcat.
They're going to go bunch formation Wildcat. They don't have any wide receivers out. They're going to round Brown, and he's going to get the first down and more. And bounces to the outside. He's got one man to beat. Does he beat him? And no, he'll get pulled out of bounds at around the 4-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 8.
Wow.
At the 9, actually.
Well, they didn't stop him.
No, not by a long shot.
The initial surge by the defense was good, but again, when you have people around the ball and then proceed to not make a tackle, it makes it hard to get a stop.
Yeah.
And I understand that wasn't necessarily, they didn't have 3 people on the running back, but they also had enough people to get a stop.
They'll go pistol with one wide receiver on either side. They'll hand it off to Brown, and he will get taken down after a gain of about 2. And it'll be second and goal from the 6.
With them being in goal-to-go territory, this could be a position where Fort Dorchester, come a fourth down, goes for it, and that is going to be the only way you stop them from getting points, is if they decide to go for it.
Shotgun set, one wide on either side. They'll hand off. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they will hand off to Brown, and he will get taken down, pushed back. Not taken down completely, but he'll get pushed back at the 5-yard line, and there is a flag.
And it's going to be on Carolina Forest for unnecessary roughness.
And just some frustration coming out of the Panthers.
Yeah. Yep. Personal foul on Carolina Forest.
And that'll push up the Patriots all the way up to the 2-yard line, I believe, because it should be half the distance to the goal.
And on top of that, you get the stop.
Yeah.
Like, you stop them, and then on top of that, there was no need to push him.
Yeah.
There was no need. Like, the play was blown dead. It's mental errors.
And it is half the distance to the goal, so it will be to the 2-yard line. So it will be second and goal from the 2. Shotgun set, they'll hand it. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, they will hand it off to. Oh, no, they throw it. Incomplete. Wow. A play action pass. Osborne tried to throw it into the end zone and missed it wide. And it'll be third and goal from the 2.
That was a weird play call.
Yeah.
With how dominant the run game has been.
Oh, it's.
Yeah, it's third. It's third. Fourth down? Huh.
Oh, okay.
Heard.
So
fourth down. So fourth down.
So the scoreboard was wrong. originally. So it's 4th and goal now from the 2.
And all of a sudden, that changes like everything.
Yeah, and this makes it a big play right here because they're gonna they're gonna kick it.
They were set up to kick it,
and
the play clock was running down, so they were setting up for a field goal.
So they're gonna try to kick the field goal,
which,
I mean, it's a win for the Panthers to an extent.
I don't believe in moral victories.
Fair enough.
The only way this is a victory for the Panthers if they like block
kick
it,
yeah.
Which, I mean, with how the special teams rush on punts and kicks has been all year, there is a possibility, but you can't bank on that.
Yeah.
This offense has to score if they need a touchdown. There's no other way to put it for Carolina Forest when they come back on this field, whether they're down 17 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
It's in order to get out of a hole, you got to put down the shovel.
Yes.
And then you got to build the ladder, and then you eventually get out.
Yes.
We haven't put down the shovel yet. That is where we're.
If they can stop them right here,
they have put down the shovel at that point. But it also it comes back to the offense and not turning the ball over.
Yes.
One thing you can't do when you're down 14-0 is
turn the ball over. Exactly.
As they are going to line up for the field goal again from the 10-yard line, so it'll be a 20-yard field goal attempt from the right hash mark. The snap, hold is good, kick is good. And
so that'll extend the lead out to 17-0 with 10:48 left to go in the first half.
Well, the only saving grace is that, again, we get the ball to start the second half.
And at least they didn't score a touchdown.
Outside of that, though, there is no saving grace.
I mean, not that we really have much reason to think about it right now, but is there any update on?
No, I'm not even.
No?
I'm not even looking at it right now.
Okay, fair enough.
Just offense needs to stay out of their own way. They had a drive going. It's not like they were just stagnant. But when you turn the ball over inside your own red zone, that is not a recipe to come back in a football game.
No. You cannot turn the ball over like that if you want to come back in a game like this.
Right. And that was the one thing we did against Oceanside that allowed us to come back into the game. We didn't turn the ball over.
Exactly.
The defense was also getting stops, but we also did not turn the ball over.
So Fort Dorchester getting ready to kick it off, and it is on its way. It'll be a little pooch kick and fielded at the 15-yard line. Taken down is Anthony Aponte at right at the 20-yard line. So that's where the Panthers will start on offense.
So you remember the last time that Khalil Johnson got a speed option after a Zion Gilbert fumble?
He ran for either a touchdown or
for 40 yards.
Yeah, 40 yards.
Do we try the same strategy? The formula? Will the formula work again?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to see a speed option here.
Is Zion Gilbert Khalil Johnson, he is in the game.
So another thing, though, they're giving single coverage on the outside. I would just test them one time.
Yeah. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. They'll run 3-step drop for Saylor, and he gets destroyed in the backfield.
But that's exactly why you can't test them downfield because the pass rush is just getting through so fast. That's why the slants and the out routes are so effective, because they are quick. You don't need the offensive line to block for 3-4 seconds. All you need is a quick little out route, and you can get it out and get your best players into space.
So they're going to go – I thought at first they were going to go 4 wide on the near side, but they move Owen Hall over to the far side. They'll go shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. Saylor takes a snap, 3-step drop, rolls out, and pressure and safety.
Wow.
And a militia Patriots take down Saylor in the backfield in the end zone for the safety.
Yeah.
They're going to say it was DeAndre Jones primarily who makes the tackle. And it just went from bad to worse for Carolina Forest.
and as much as I could blame Scotty for not throwing the ball away or whatever assortment of excuses you want to give, he had no time. There was no time in that backfield to even get close to getting the ball off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's defeatist. However, Fort Dorchester's just bigger.
Yeah.
They're just stronger.
I mean, looking at it on the defensive front, Jaden Acevedo is 5'10", 260. DeAndre Jones, 6'3", 264. So that middle front for Dorchester is big.
Big is an understatement. And it just feels like Scotty has negative time.
Yeah.
I
mean, they say what? Normally you want to count like 3 seconds in the pocket. He's got one at most.
One, maybe half a second.
Yeah.
They will kick it off from the 20-yard line. And Scotty will kick it away. And it'll be a deep kick this time, but it'll get caught at the 36 and returned out. He's going to find a crease. He's going to have a couple blockers in front of him, and he'll get tripped up.
There must have been a penalty on the safety for Carolina Forest.
No. That kickoff is from the 20 on the safety.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay, fair
because
enough.
It wasn't an actual kickoff. It was
it was a safety kickoff.
Well, looking positive. Help me out here. We could be out of this game quicker.
I guess.
Like, this offense is not the offense we've seen in the past, and now it's looking a lot like the competition we were facing.
Yeah. I think it definitely was. The shotgun set too wide on the near side. They'll hand it off to Brown again. He bounces it around the corner and gets pushed out of bounds at the... They'll mark him down at the 37-yard line. There is a flag on the play.
Yeah, personal foul on Fort Dorchester.
So holding.
It was
call.
holding. Ian was right. I'm sorry. Things we do when we're losing.
Yes.
But I would want to say that this is a turning point for the defense and they can get a stop. But with how good, and it's not even that you can force them into passing the ball because you can't. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, this running game just works. It doesn't go against, like, they don't throw the ball, and they don't have to. They don't even need to come close to throwing the ball, as it'll be 1st and 13 for Fort Dorchester's offense.
Shotgun set, too wide on the near side. They'll hand it off once again to Brown. Brown just flows through the line and gets taken down at the 38-yard line. And that'll be right at the marker. Oh, a little short of the marker, actually.
And just like that, it's 2nd and short again after 1st and 13. The defense is just not, it's just not showing up today.
Shotgun set, too wide on the near side. They'll hand it off to Brown again. Brown gets the first down and more, and finally gets pulled down from behind at around the 25-yard line. That's where they'll mark him.
Is this what Goose Creek felt last week?
I think so.
Yeah. This is bad. Just bad offense and defense and special teams. Like, and what it comes down to is the defense and offensive lines. It's coming down to the offensive line for Fort Dorchester and the defensive line for Fort Dorchester just winning at the point of attack. That's what's allowing these lanes for Brown to just run through.
Shotgun set, too wide on the near side. They'll hand it off this time to
Reynolds?
To Reynolds, yes.
Gilbert's our off.
Yes.
I think Gilbert wishes he was on that side of the ball
yes.
right now.
And he'll get taken down at the 16-yard line. And that'll be just short of a first down. So it'll be 2nd and short from the 16.
I was yawning on the way up here.
But I mean, it's all right.
It's applicable.
It's only halfway through the first or through the second quarter as
touchdown.
Reynolds just walks into the end zone, just weaves his way through every defender.
No, it's not even that. He didn't have to weave anything.
Yeah.
He walked into the end zone untouched.
And that'll be another touchdown, and it is now 25-0.
I wish there was a silver lining.
Yeah.
I wish we could say, oh yeah, this is gonna it's gonna be better later on in the game, but there's nothing to prove that, as the extra point is up and good.
Looked like that was trailing a little to the right. Thought it might miss, but it sneaks through the uprights.
So, that like historically pretty good offense that Carolina Forest has had the past 4 weeks.
Where is that?
Where is that at? And I don't want to talk it up to only it being the defense we're playing.
Yeah.
But
I think what you said is right. I mean, Goose Creek was a very weak 1 seed.
Right.
So, you can understand how Carolina Forest was able to beat them. But now you're seeing what this team is, made of against a really good team.
Yeah, I think I think Fort D beats either Sumter or Somerville, personally.
It's going to be an interesting game, that's for sure. As the kick is up and fielded by Aponte. Aponte tries to break it to the far side and gets taken down at the 25-yard line.
Let's go look at Sumter's score, because I have nothing better to do. Interception. 6 minutes ago, game's still tied at 0.
Wow, so that game is a lot closer than this one. That's for sure.
A little bit.
So the offense comes back on the field for Carolina Forest. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. Saylor takes a snap. Screen pass, low pass to Aponte. He's not able to hang on to it. It was a forward pass, so at least at first Aponte thought he meant pressured, and getting taken down is Scott Saylor. The pressure getting in very quickly. Jaden Acevedo getting the sack, but there was pressure on him by Camden Hawkins right off of the snap.
This is reminding me of the Bengals last year.
Mm-hmm. You mean 2 years ago? Because the Bengals made the play. Oh, you're talking about
I mean the offensive line.
Oh,
the
I
offensive
get what
line
you're saying.
is why the Bengals lost the Super Bowl last year.
Yes.
This is what this is reminding me of.
Yes.
Scott has no time to even look downfield. That wasn't even a downfield pass. It was a screen pass.
Yeah.
It was going to be a setup screen pass, and still it doesn't matter. He was blitzed immediately, as Alec Youngblood is going to be.
And they're gonna. I think that's gonna be a false start.
It's gonna be.
Or illegal either illegal shift or false start, one or the other. God. And that'll move the ball all the way back to the 15-yard line, and it will now make it 3rd and 20.
3rd and here to Carolina Forest.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, there's gonna be a long drive
right back.
If this score stands, which
it looks like it's going to. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Youngblood moves over to the far side now. A screen pass out to Gilbert. Gilbert tries to get around the corner.
Quavius Drawn.
Quavius Drawn actually out there, and he gets taken down out of bounds after a gain of just a couple, and it will be 4th and
a lot.
Well, and 4th and 17, I believe.
What really sucks about this is that there is a good amount of Carolina Forest fans in this stands right now, and a lot of
that made the 2.5-hour trip out.
Scotty will go back into punting formation, and we'll take it, and we'll punt it away, and it's blocked.
It did get blocked,
and that
it will trickle out of bounds
That punt didn't even go back to the original down markers.
Yeah.
That punt didn't even go back to the original 1st and 10 markers.
It will trickle out of bounds right at the original, or right in front of the original spot where the drive started, the 25-yard line. They will mark it at the 24.
24.
And Fort Dorchester only needs to get 4 yards to get into the red zone already.
What's the silver lining here? Help me out a little bit.
I mean, the silver lining, I will say, and now granted, part of it was the opponents, but then again, that happens in any sport. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off to Reynolds, and Reynolds will push his way forward to the 14-yard line, and they will mark him just short of the first down marker. And it will be 2nd and inches. But the silver lining, and this is something we didn't get a chance to mention in the pregame, as they'll go pistol set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off to Reynolds again. He'll get the first down and more, and will finally get pushed back. The problem, too, with the Panthers is they're not even able to get Reynolds or Brown down. They're just having to hold them up and wait for the refs to blow the whistle. And he's finally held up at the 9-yard line, so it'll be 1st and goal. But the silver lining is the Panthers are the only unranked team in the state that is still playing football right now. So, in the media poll. So, that's the silver lining. Is now, granted, like I said, it's partially as they'll hand it off this time to Brown, and he'll get held up at the 6-yard line. And it'll be 2nd and goal. But, like I mentioned, part of that is matchups. But still, the fact that, this team who, some people were predicting them not even to beat River Bluff in the first round.
Right.
The fact that they, were able to make it to the 3rd round is still a good season.
And I think this...
And we will some Panther faithful still trying to keep it alive, doing a "Let's Go Panthers" chant down underneath us.
All right.
Pistol set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off to screen pass out to Brown, and he'll get taken down right around the line of scrimmage. They're gonna actually say he might have lost a yard, and it'll be 3rd and goal from the 6.
And we've had this conversation a few times off the air at what point is this season a success? And I think getting to this spot is a success.
Yes.
Yes, if this score stands,
it's a disappointing way
to end, especially if you end with 0 points on the scoreboard. However, even getting this point at the beginning of the season was very, very out of the question, as Fort Dorchester will call their 3rd timeout of the game.
And here's another thing to take.
Or of the half, I should say.
This is another thing to take into consideration that we talked about last week is, in spite of the issues that the Panthers have had in various games offensively, this was the 2nd highest Panthers scoring team in program history.
And what that includes is a 7. Like they've had some shaky point totals.
Yeah,
7, a couple 14s, but
they still had some high scoring games.
Right. This right here is just a shellacking.
Yeah.
This isn't to discount what the offense is, because you still have to beat teams that you play the entire season, right? But at the same time, it just feels so disappointing. This could have been a very competitive game, and instead we're looking at a 26-0 with Fort Dorchester in 3rd and goal.
Pistol set, 2 wide on the near side. High snap, they'll go play action. Rolling out is Osborne, and he'll throw it into the end zone. And it is incomplete.
No. Intercepted. It's intercepted.
It's intercepted. Woo-hoo! Wow. That is Jamori Davis who gets the interception, and
is that the silver lining?
Did
we find a silver lining?
Is that the spark that the Panthers need to start, probably not getting back into this game fully, but, getting a little bit of life at least.
The interception is good and all, but this offensive drive will be what sparks it. I don't know.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. They'll roll out to his left and throwing completed to Nathan Schuessler. And that will be a first down and more. He'll get taken down at the 35-yard line. That'll be enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
There is a flag on the play as well.
Yeah, we'll see what the flag is. Good little rollout play by Scott Saylor rolling out to his right and finding Schuessler.
Anthony signaling face mask on the near side. And it looks like that is going to be the case on this one.
It is. So that'll push the Panthers all the way up. See where they mark it. They will mark it down at the 44-yard line of Fort Dorchester.
41.
41-yard
line. Good start to the drive, though. Not a bad start from Scotty getting his confidence up a little bit.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Saylor rolls out to his left, gets away from some pressure, and throws it up in the air, and it is incomplete. That was a dangerous throw by Saylor right there. He just kind of let it go while getting hit.
Anthony's down there somewhere?
Yes.
Is that
yes.
Not going to say the actual verbiage on that turn or on that saying, but it's kind of, one of my wide receivers is down there somewhere. Might as well throw it up and try to get something going.
Yeah.
As they're going to they have Zion. Oh, no. Okay, I was about to say. Khalil Johnson was coming in, but Zion wasn't coming out until very late in the play.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the Panther 41-yard line. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Saylor takes the snap, hands it off to Johnson, and Johnson gets wrapped up. It looked like he might have bounced off of one of his own offensive linemen and fell down. And that will be a loss of 2. And it will be now 3rd and long.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why you don't run Khalil Johnson up the middle. I feel like we should have learned our lesson from that. But, this is looking like a classic Mark Morch. And it's not that he can do a lot about the offensive line not blocking for Scotty. But when you make the decision to run speed option with Zion Gilbert on the outside and Khalil Johnson run up the middle, it kind of makes it hard for your team to succeed that way too.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Saylor rolls out to his right and throws it on the run. High throw, and it is incomplete. That ball was tipped up in the air off of Aponte and almost intercepted. A great diving attempt by Michael Smalls on the coverage, but was not able to get to it, and it will be 4th and long. 2:48 left to go in the first half. 23-0. Panthers trailing.
26-0.
26-0. The scoreboard's kind of screwy.
I think that's just you, Brandon, honestly. 2 wide on either side. Shotgun set. Scotty looking to the sideline with Khalil Johnson to his right. 4th and 12 from the Carolina Forest 40-yard line. Snap taken. Scotty looking right, looking deep, looking for Owen Hall. He's got him on the sideline.
And
incomplete, overthrown him. And there's going to be there is no flag for pass interference.
Owen Hall was looking for it.
He was looking for it, and the defender was kind of riding him. However, the silver lining on that play is the fact that I don't think it was catchable.
No.
So it was overthrown, and that's another Fort Dorchester stop, and again get a gain of about 3 or 4 on the carry, depending on where. Yeah, it'll be a gain of 3 from the 41 to the 44-yard line of Carolina Forest. No, reverse. No, wait, hold up. 39 to the 36-yard line. I'm having an aneurysm. I can't watch football anymore. I'm done. And it's not even the 35-yard line. It's the 36-yard line.
Yes.
What is going on? We're in the twilight zone, Brandon. I think that's where we're at right
now. No, it's just that we're in already kind of feeling like we're in garbage time before. This is the reverse of what happened last week.
Right.
As they hand it off again to Brown, and he'll bounce it to the outside, and will get taken out of bounds at the 20. 29-yard. Oh, no, they'll mark him down at the 31-yard line, and it'll be second and short or third and short.
I know Ian's over there laughing at us over there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even need to see him through the wall to know that he's laughing at us over there. Laughing at us for being stupid, but also for thinking that going into this game that the offense is going to keep the pace that they have for the past 4 weeks.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. They'll hand it off to Brown again. He'll get the first down before being held up at the 27-yard line.
We're just all over the place. We don't you love it here, Brendan? Yes, say yes. You have to.
But that'll be another first down for Dorchester.
Yeah, like there. Again, I wish there was a silver lining that we could hang our hat on and say, you know what, maybe we can come back. But there is not one right now, as Brown will take the handoff again, looking to the right side of the offensive line, and will get held up at the 25-yard line after a gain of only 2. And you know, Michael Roberts, I have Spanish with him, so he was on the tackle, but he is also kind of further on the depth chart. However,
yeah,
so. He's also a senior, so this is his last football game, assuming that the score stays the way it is. Shotgun set 3. They're going to throw the ball here, looking deep over the middle of the field to number 5. That's going to be a caught, and just short at the goal line.
Trey Ryan on that catch.
Trey Ryan on the catch and run, and that will be a big gain, getting them into first and goal from the 1-yard line.
And there's 34.7 seconds left to go in the half, and it'll be interesting to see, does Fort Dorchester decide to try to score here before the end of the half, or do they just try to take it into the locker room? Looks like they're going to try to go for it. Shotguns and a timeout is
by the
called.
ref, and I think I saw Ethan Hamilton limping as the starting safety for Carolina Force. I saw him limping, and it is number 12, Ethan Hamilton. He is hobbling.
So that's not a good sign for
He's
the
walking
Panthers.
on his own power, though.
Which is good.
Which is good, but he's also heavily favoring the right leg, meaning he cannot really – I mean –
He's moving a little better.
He's moving a little bit better.
I think he might have just pulled it or something and just,
Yeah, he's walking on it.
Yeah.
So good sign for Ethan Hamilton. He is actually – I believe in line for the quarterback job after Scotty leaves after this season. So that'll be interesting to see. It'll either be him or Patrick Mullen, who's currently above us on the roof of our press box doing coordinator duties or assistant duties upstairs. Brown's in the shot. He's in the
They're going to go in the Wildcat, and Brown will take himself into the end zone for the touchdown.
I could have walked in. I could have ran that touchdown.
So with 16.3 seconds left to go in the first half, the score will be
32-0.
32-0. Yes.
Pending the extra point. Do I even keep posting the score? Like I gotta keep posting.
Yeah, keep people informed. Now, what we may do, considering it's pretty much garbage time already, if you want, you can take the second half.
Woohoo! I get to do play-by-play for this game as it's a botch snap on the extra point. So Carolina Force, with their first defensive stop on the game, is during special teams. And
technically they had the stop earlier to get the field goal
and the interception, but
yes,
we won't talk about that. Yeah, just not a lot of silver linings going on in this game.
No.
Jesus. You know, we've seen bigger leads blown before, but not in high school football.
No. Unless there was wasn't there that one game where they scored onside kick, scored onside kick, scored onside
but
kick?
that was only like 17 points.
Oh, okay.
What's the score? 36-0?
Yeah.
36. Yeah. CF 0. Again, I keep repeating the same thing over and over again. I feel like a broken record, but again, I wish there was something to hang our hat on in this game and just say, you know what, we might have had a bad game, but this we did well. I don't know what we've been doing well. That was
Somerville apparently scored.
So Somerville is
up
winning
7-0.
Yeah.
As the kick is up.
Fair catch signaled for at the 34-yard line. And that is where Carolina Forest offense will take over. And I guess for the last 16 seconds of the first half, I will take over.
Might as well.
I doubt they might do something.
They'll probably just knee it down anyway.
Yeah, I would assume. Yeah, this is something else.
Yeah, it looks like they're setting up into the kneeling formation.
I was about to say victory formation, but this is not.
This is not the victory formation by any stretch of the imagination.
This is the white flag formation.
Yes.
Yeah. Jeez. I wish
know.
I don't know.
I don't know what to say.
I'm at a loss for words, and you know me. I'm not at a loss of words for very often.
As the kneel down is completed, and that will bring us into the half with the score
32 to nothing.
Yeah.
Fort Dorchester. Halftime break.
Yep.
Woohoo!
Time to go to the break. We'll step aside and come back with some first half stats and analysis and get you ready for the second half here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back as we are at halftime here at Bagwell Stadium in Fort Dorchester as it is 32-0 Patriots in the lead. We'll get you some first half stats in just a moment. But first, like I mentioned earlier, Fort Dorchester, a couple of players from last year's squad going to Division I, but a bunch more already at the Division I level. Tyler McClellan, offensive lineman is at Campbell. Daquan Robinson, defensive lineman at Charleston Southern. Avery Snipes also at Charleston Southern. He's also a defensive lineman. Cameron Mitchell, safety at Coastal, as is Emmanuel Johnson, a defensive end. Brandon Johnson, offensive lineman at Navy. Malik Horlback, linebacker at Presbyterian. They've got 3 guys at South Carolina. Decarian Joyner, the wide receiver. Darrell Ware, linebacker. And Demetrius Watson, defensive tackle. At Southern Miss, James Middleton, offensive lineman. And Adonicus Sanders is at Temple. He is a wide receiver. And they have 3 guys at the next level in the NFL. John Simpson, guard for the Raiders. Carlos Dunlap with the Kansas City Chiefs, defensive end. And Robert Quinn with the Eagles, also defensive end. So this program is steeped in history, and you can tell here at Bagwell Stadium that this is the big time. One of the big time schools here in South Carolina, and they are showing it tonight against Carolina Forest. Get you some first half stats in just a moment and give you an update on Sumter and Somerville. First, the stats right now. First for Carolina Forest. Khalil Johnson, 6 yards on 3 carries. For Dorchester, Brown has 183 yards and 2 touchdowns on 17 carries, while Reynolds has 94 yards and a touchdown on 11 carries. Passing-wise, Scott Saylor, 6 of 9 for 64 yards. And Zoltan Osborne, 2 for 4 with 1 interception and 23 yards. Receiving, Nathan Schusler, 3 catches for 29 yards. Owen Hall, 1 reception for 13 yards. For Fort Dorchester, Trey Ryan, 1 reception for 23 yards. Those are all of the stats right now in this game. And a quick little update on another game around the state. This in 4A, just to show you that there's another team that's being quite dominant tonight. South Florence beating James Island by a score of 50-7. So that is quite the score in that one. Actually, I move that even further up. An update just a few seconds ago. A safety for South Florence. They're now up 52-7. Try to find some other updates for you guys throughout with other games. At halftime, it is 7-0 Somerville over Sumter. So that looks like that game's a lot closer than this one, that's for sure. But looks like Somerville is sort of in control of that one. But as Preston Payne joins me once again.
I don't want to join you. I want to go home.
It's
cold.
I remember.
I found candy, though.
Very good. But I do remember, and let me look this up real quick. I remember there was an update on a change in the overtime rules this season. Or not overtime, running clock rules rather. And
I was going to say, why are we talking about overtime?
No. I meant running clock. So just pulling up that.
So we're going to go ahead and get into our garbage time kind of scenarios, I guess.
Yes.
So college football playoff,
Okay.
TCU is probably the most important college football team this season.
Yes.
Because you can say, an undefeated Big 12 champion TCU team is not going to get in, but they're going to get in. you can say that Tennessee might be better than TCU.
Okay, real quick, I found it.
Uh-huh.
It is they need 10 more points. It's by 42 points or more at any point. It would have had to start after halftime anyway.
Okay.
So that is
Dang.
the
Really?
yeah.
That's a lot of points. Up by 42 is actually crazy.
But I mean, it kind of makes sense because that's pretty much game over at that point.
Yeah, but like realistically, so is 35.
True. But okay, continue your.
So TCU,
Yes.
you can say it'd be really interesting to see how the committee treats TCU, because I think from what we've seen from from Tennessee, right, their only loss is Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna assume that Georgia wins the SEC.
Yes, of course.
So got Georgia 1.
Mm-hmm.
Winner of Michigan, Ohio State.
Yep.
3. I don't see you putting a one-loss Tennessee team over a TCU team.
No, you can't.
So in that case, not only, and I'll get to TCU is the most important, because if they lose,
Then
that
everything
opens up
goes
everything,
haywire.
because that leaves the door open for guess who team? North Carolina, if they run the table.
Yeah.
And I understand the ACC is very weak, but you're not going to get any Pac-12 team in.
You don't think USC has any shot?
I see USC getting upset somewhere down the line.
True.
The Pac-12 always seems to beat up on each other.
True.
So I don't see a Pac-12 team getting in. At that point, the Big 12 would not have a team in because TCU would have a loss.
Yes.
Tennessee and Georgia, I think, get in.
Yes. As long as they both
Stay
where they
stay
are.
where they are. And winner of Michigan, your Big Ten's going to have Michigan State or Michigan or Ohio State.
Yeah.
The only conference left is the
ACC. Yeah.
And honestly, North Carolina's offense is one of the best in the country, and Drake May should be a dark horse Heisman candidate.
Yeah.
Because of his yardage, his touchdowns, and I get North Carolina has had a pretty easy schedule, but that's been Clemson's had the exact same schedule for the past 10 years, and they've been in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Now they've gone on to win a couple, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying why it would show a lot of favoritism if that situation happens. And North Carolina knocks off Clemson in that ACC championship game. What they do with North Carolina?
Well, if North Carolina knocks off Clemson in the ACC championship game, there's no way if TCU loses, there's no way you can't have them in.
Yes, but I feel like the disrespect to the ACC is warranted.
Well, unless and.
LSU? Is that where we're going with this?
No. I'm going even worse on this.
Don't say they bring in Alabama for that.
Yes.
If Alabama makes the college football playoff this year, I will stop watching college football until the 12 team is expanded. Until it's expanded to 12 teams. Because,
well, then you'll learn what I've known this whole time.
I mean, yes, it's an invitational. But at the same time, you throw Alabama in, and you've basically discredited the entire college football playoff system up until now. Because Alabama being a 2-loss team, I would rather have LSU. Honestly.
But I mean, either way, it kind of plays along the same lines where you're favoring the SEC over anyone else.
Right? However, LSU even... Now, do they beat Georgia? Probably not.
Well, LSU and Alabama have to play, don't they?
They already played.
Oh, they already played.
That's why Alabama has their second loss.
Right. Okay, so then it would be LSU over Alabama. Either way, even if that were to be the case. But I don't think it'll get to that point because I think TCU will continue winning.
You know what's worst case scenario?
What?
Somehow LSU knocks off Georgia in the SEC championship game, and we get Georgia, LSU, and Tennessee all in the college football playoff. Now, to be fair, Georgia and Tennessee deserve a spot.
True.
That is where I think it's obvious that Georgia and Tennessee
But
right now, as of right now, are the two best teams.
What's funny about this conversation to me is all those people who hate the 12-team playoff and their reasoning is because they say it's going to be the SEC Invitational as a result. It already is.
Right.
Like, you play semi-decent in the SEC, and you have a very good shot of getting in right now.
Right, and it also boils down to the fact that when you have three SEC teams, there's no way you leave the SEC champion out of the college football playoff.
Wasn't there a year that someone wonky won the SEC title game and
I think you're thinking about Mississippi State, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think the reason they got left out was because they
lost the championship game. Okay.
But I could be completely wrong about that.
I think you're right. I think you may be right.
But I don't know.
Yeah. But that's why I always say, that's why, prior to obviously, covering these games and having a reason to watch college football because of players from the various schools that we've covered being at the next level, I never really was a college football fan because of the system that it has, because I've said this on multiple occasions before on different shows, but before the first snap is even made in the college football season, 70% of the teams are automatically eliminated just purely off of either the conference they play in or their name.
Right.
Because, if there was any other option, if there were any more than two other undefeated teams, I don't see TCU being in there.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that.
Just because, it's TCU, they're not a brand name.
Right. But I also think because of people who think like you, TCU has the teams that are not brand names have collectively been a brand name.
True, because now the college football playoff committee, because we saw it last year with Cincinnati, now they're basically forced to put one of the, if someone stays undefeated that isn't a brand name, they're basically forced to put them in just simply because they know that if they don't, everyone will be calling it for what it is, and it's rigged.
Well, Cincinnati's a weird example, though, because they played Notre Dame in South Bend, and they went in and beat Notre Dame.
True.
Notre Dame at the time, again, was the sixth-ranked team in the country.
True.
You can't just discount Cincinnati as, they had to get in based on what the committee was saying, because they actually went into South Bend and beat Notre Dame.
True.
And they were a conference champion. Yeah. And, honestly, they kept Alabama.
Yeah.
They gave Alabama all they could handle. They only lost by what, 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, I think so, something like that.
To an Alabama offense that had Bryce Young and a plethora of wide receivers. Name the wide receivers you want
to.
Do I think Cincinnati would have beat Georgia? No, but they at least gave
Alabama a run for their
They deserved that 4th spot. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna say.
But I'm just
that wasn't Bryce Young year. That wasn't.
No.
Was
because that was last year.
That was Mac Jones year.
Yeah, Mac Jones.
That was the Mac Jones year.
Or no.
Wait,
because that was last.
What is going on?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Timeline is messed up. It wasn't Bryce Young though.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
But I'm just waiting for the 12-team playoff, because then you'll actually get some real.
Well, actually, I'm waiting for the 64-team playoff, because that's the only real playoff that matters, and that's called March Madness.
Well, no. I agree with you there, but I'm just saying for football, I'm waiting for them to expand at least to 12, so that, because what's the best thing about March Madness?
The amount of teams and the upsets.
The upsets, the Cinderella stories. I want to see that in football.
See, but I think with football, you have such a varying degree of, okay, football is weird because, like, take the 7-9 Giants for example. They won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
After very clearly not being the best team overall in the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
College football, however, you have to be the best team. It's almost like high school football, which is actually funny because we're about to start the second half. But it's almost like high school football where the disparity in between teams is so vast that you have to be one of the best teams in the country just to get in.
Mm.
And that is the system where I think is the most fair. Yes, it might be an invitational, an SEC invitational, but we've all been in agreement that the SEC has had the best teams for the past decade plus.
True.
So you say it's an SEC invitational, but
kind of along the same lines. On the flip side, with football, as the kick is up and we are underway, fielded by Owen Hall, and he'll get taken down at the 25-yard line. But with football, a lot of it, and people have said this in terms of how it was during the BCS era as compared to how it's been now, if you are a 5-star recruit and your goal is to win a national championship, you know right now that you only have a handful of teams that you can choose that even have a chance.
Yeah.
Whereas once the 12-team playoff is created and it's expanded, and
you expand that horizon,
you can go to other non-blue blood schools and still have a chance.
Sky taking the snap, and he'll shovel it to Khalil Johnson for a gain of about 2.
That was a little interesting trickeration, having Khalil Johnson out in the slot and having him motion and run the speed option off of the motion.
Yeah, I mean, a little innovative.
Yeah.
And I think I just got word that Ethan Hamilton will be the replacement next year as of right now, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Yes. So we did get an update on that.
Looking ahead to next season.
It's the only thing we can look forward to.
Yeah.
Shotgun set, 2 on either side. Hayden Cotton lined up in the slot on the near side. Khalil Johnson to the right of Scotty. Scotty's going to look towards Hayden Cotton on that far side. Out route, catch, and met right at where he caught it, but it'll be a gain of about 4. Caught at the 29-yard line. Hayden Cotton for a gain of 4. A little out route there.
Good little out route.
Yeah, and you don't see Hayden Cotton line up in the slot very often, but when you do, you usually see him involved in the passing game.
Yeah.
That will set up a 3rd down and 5 for the Panthers offense. Alec Youngblood in the slot, as well as Anthony Aponte, as there is 3 on the far side to Scotty's left, and Khalil will motion to his left as well. Owen Hall, the lone man on the near side. Snap, looking left, over the middle, caught by Anthony Aponte at the 40-yard line, and he'll make a couple guys miss, and he'll be taken down at the 45 with a flag at the end of the play. That was a big game by Anthony Aponte, just lined up in the slot.
Yeah.
Just a simple streak route. Honestly, find the soft spot in the zone, and that is exactly where he was met at.
And, I mean, and we talked about this in I believe it was the Somerville game, where the offense started to come alive a little bit in the second half, but it's probably a little too late at this point.
Right. It was a penalty on Fort Dorchester.
So that'll move the ball up even further for the Panthers.
From the CF 45 to the Fort Dorchester 40. And that'll be
they'll move it all the way up to the 38, actually.
To the 40.
Oh, no, you're right.
Scotty in the shotgun. Nate Schuessler, this time the lone man on the far side, with Khalil Johnson also to Scotty's left with 3 on the near side. Hayden Cotton's going to motion from the slot to the H-back position. Snap taken. Play action. Looking to Nazir Thompson. It's deflected and incomplete. Right off Naz's shoulder pad. And it popped up in the air, and that could have been an easy intercept.
That hung up for a while, and Braham almost picked it off.
Chris Braham.
Yeah. Or actually, I think
Braham.
Actually, that I believe was. Oh wait, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shotgun set. 3 on the near side. Hayden again motions from the slot to the H-back position. Snap. This time a handoff to Khalil Johnson. He'll break through for the middle, and he will carry.
Oh!
And he'll get sumo slammed, and that's going to be a flag. They're going to bring one in there.
That was a full-on suplex.
That was something you see at WWE.
Yeah.
And there will be a flag on the play.
He almost went full-on Brock Lesnar's German suplex on that one.
Yeah. Khalil Johnson only being 150 pounds, and I want to say, I can't tell who it was. I think it was number 92, DeAndre Jones, who is 264 pounds.
Yeah.
The height difference is 6'3" and 5'7".
Yeah.
So I think we know who won that battle, but in the end, Carolina Force gets a
penalty as a result of the unnecessary roughness.
Right. And that'll set Carolina Force down at the 22-yard line. 21-yard line, I should say. Well, we know what the last time Carolina Force got into scoring position, they fumbled the ball. Let's see if their only second time being in the well, they're not quite in the red zone yet, but it would be their second time being in the red zone. Shotgun set, 3 on the near side. Again, Hayden motioning into the halfback position. Snap. Roll out to his right. Scotty looking to Owen Hall, and he will not be able to find his target. Incomplete. Looking for Owen Hall on the sideline on a route that we usually see Nate Schuessler run, the comeback route.
Yeah. Just a little overthrown there.
Yeah, not a lot of room for error on that one, and that one is just a little too far out wide for Owen Hall. Scotty looking to the sideline again for the play call. My candy's a little cold. It's a little hard to chew on.
It's a little chilly.
A little chilly. Scotty still looking over to the sideline. Reading the play call out. Shotgun set. Khalil Johnson will be on Scotty's left. Hayden's going to motion from the near side to the far side. Snap. Looking right. It's going to be a screen pass to Khalil Johnson, and he's going to catch it, but that might have been a bad decision as he caught it at the 26-yard line, but that'll be a loss of about, give it a loss of about 4 on the play, and would have been better just knocking that one down.
Yeah, it would have been better just to let that one fall.
Although you don't want to let it fall because there's a defender right behind Khalil Johnson.
Yeah, true.
So knocking it down would have been probably the best course of action. Scotty in the shotgun, Khalil Johnson on his right. Anthony Aponte and Owen Hall on the near side with Alec Youngblood and Nate Schuessler on the far side. Looking right to Owen Hall. Owen Hall tips it up, and it is incomplete. Another one that could have very easily been intercepted.
Yeah, a couple of balls that have been tipped up in the air, and Fort Dorchester almost getting to them, but fortunately for the Panthers, not catching them, and the Panthers are going to go for it on 4th and long.
Not kick a field goal.
If the game was a little closer, maybe, but even then, from the 26-yard line, I'm not so sure if they'd go for the field goal.
Same formation, shotgun set. Scotty looking downfield, looking for Anthony Aponte over the middle, and it is caught at the 2-yard line, maybe the 3. What a catch by Anthony Aponte.
He went up the ladder for that one and was able to haul it in. That was a Yudga Moss type play right there.
Anthony only standing at 5'6", but his hops are out of the gym or the field. Usually we play in basketball, and we say out of the gym, but just a really very good athlete, Anthony Ponte on the catch. Shotgun set, 1 on either side with Khalil Johnson in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to Khalil Johnson, and Johnson will get into the end zone. And Carolina Force will not be shut out in this game.
I was just about to say, this avoids the Panthers getting shut out in this one. The Panthers have not been shut out since 2017, and that streak will continue.
Well then. Comeback season? Comeback?
It's a little early, I think, to be calling that.
Well, we never call it a comeback. As J.J. Chack is going to kick the extra point, and it will be good. And that will close the lead down a little bit, as is Fort Dorchester 32, CF 7. And I would like to point out to you that if this game does get close again, I still retain the right to call play-by-play. I mean, I can leave you in Charleston if you would like me to.
No.
Okay. But, I mean, solid drive,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
And obviously, I can't really tell if that's Fort Dorchester's second team.
It's kind of along the lines of what we talked about with the Panthers defense giving up some scores later on in the game against both Goose Creek and River Bluff when they were up big. It's kind of, okay, we have a huge lead. We can slack off a little bit.
Right. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
4 stops on offense, 4 scores on defense. Other way around.
Someone in the stands underneath
That might have been above us.
Oh, okay. But
that might have been
either way, they're just saying, hey, if you can stop them 4 times and score 4 times, right back in this game.
I believe that's the saying, easier said than done.
Yes.
Now, it'd be great if it happened. It'd be great.
Oh, yeah.
But I would need to see a lot more than that drive to put it in that territory. As the kick is a squib kick, and it'll take a high bounce and will be taken in at the 37. And he's going to have a return. He's going to split a few defenders, and he will be taken down at the 45-yard line on the return.
So, again, not quite as short as they've had in the past, but a relatively short field for Fort Dorchester.
Yeah, a very, very not very, very short because they got it from the 22 at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
Short enough to where you don't necessarily like the defense chances on this play. So Fort Dorchester's offense, I take that back. They did get the interception. Carolina Forest defense did get the interception, so they do have a stop. However, it has been very hard for them to stop.
And that stop was on the goal line.
Right. Shotgun set, 2 on the far side, 1 on the near side. Handoff to Brown. Brown's going to cut through the middle. He's got a lane, and he will be dragged down after a gain of about 7. It'll be 2nd and 3 from Brown. Just wide open gap. It was, I believe, number 6, R.J. Williams.
No, it was 46.
46?
Yeah, it was Jonathan Tagle.
On the tackle.
Yeah, and he did a nice job staying with him and wrapping it up.
And that'll be another handoff to Brown. And Brown's going to bounce out to the outside, and it will be enough for a first down after a prowl of Panthers hold him at the 40-yard line. 40-yard line. Just, again, running game has just been too much for Carolina Forest to handle today.
Yeah.
And it hasn't changed anything right now.
Like I said earlier, it's that Greg Maddox logic of what's coming, but you just can't stop it.
Right. Shotgun set, 2 on the near side, 1 on the far side. Brown still in the backfield. Snap taken. Hands it off to Brown again. Brown will this time be met up at the line, but will get a push from his offensive line. He was hit at the 40, but then got carried for about 3.
Again, another situation where the Panthers just cannot bring Brown down, and there it was basically like a rugby maul, and they just pushed Brown forward.
Right. This time, Osborne in the shotgun set with 2 on his right on the far side. Moving from right to left. Snap. Hands it off to Reynolds this time. And this time, Reynolds will get hit behind, but he will make a guy miss and another guy miss. And he will run through a couple of people. And
again, the Panthers can't bring him down and are saved by the whistle. And he was pushed back for a loss of
5.
At least 3 or 4. I think, it might have been 5. And instead, he makes it for a gain of 4.
No gain. They were at the...
Oh, okay. He was able to get it back to the line. But, but still, he was back for a loss of 5 or 6, and instead he's able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Right. Snap. Hands it off to Reynolds again. Reynolds this time will go straight forward, breaking through the hole, and he will get taken down right at the 21-yard line. And he may have gotten touched at the line of scrimmage, but there was no one in position to even make a tackle until he was tackled at the 21.
And another first down.
And there's someone on the ground for Carolina Forest. I can't tell number. I want to say it's 25. No, it's 21. That might be Jonathan Rivas. I'm trying to find him on the depth chart here. I think it is 21 Jonathan Rivas. on the ground, and he limped off the field as well. Yeah, Jonathan Rivas, number 21. He's being escorted by the medical training staff. Yeah, there's not a whole bunch I can really say. He's also in that Spanish class with Michael. I thoroughly enjoy him. He speaks Spanish, so he helps me with a lot of the Spanish work. Either way, for Dorchester, shotgun set, 2 on both sides. Snap. Handed off to Brown, I believe, and he's going to bust right through the hole, and that's going to be an easy walk into, well, not necessarily walk in, but broke a few tackles on his en route to a touchdown. And that was number 4, Ryan Campbell.
They're going deep in the depth chart.
Well, I mean, it is it is garbage time. We have established that it is garbage time.
Ryan Campbell is the number 3 back.
Yeah, number 29. I thought he said 49 though. That's why I was giving a weird look. PAT unit out, and the kick is up and good. And that will extend the lead to 39-7. Fort Dorchester well in control of this game.
Yeah.
That is to say the least.
Like I mentioned earlier, did I say it was 40 or 42 for the running clock?
You said 42.
42. So one more score.
No, not even that. Because right now they're at a 32-point lead. So they need a score and another score.
You're right, because the Panthers scored on the last drive. You're right.
Right. I know, it's hard. It's easy to forget that.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I guess we can say that we scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
That is, I guess we found the silver lining.
That is the silver lining. At least the Panthers did not get shut out.
Yeah, but how wide is that silver lining?
Who knows?
Still 7-0 at the end of the third, Somerville. And Fort Dorchester and Somerville actually played earlier as the kick is underway to Anthony Aponte, received at the 6-yard line. He's going to take it out of the end zone. He's going to get brought down at the 24. And Fort Dorchester actually played Somerville earlier this season and beat Somerville.
Yes, they beat Somerville 38-21 to end the regular season.
So you know what's interesting? We were talking about this pregame. The lower state playoffs is just the honorary match to get beat by Dutch Fork or Gaffney, whoever decides to come out of the upper state.
Yeah. This year now, because Dutch Fork isn't considered lower state anymore. Well, they could have been with Region 4 being split in half.
Right.
But
they decided to be upper state.
Well, the champions are upper state.
Right. Shotgun set, handoff to Khalil Johnson. He's going to find a hole, but will be brought down at the right at the 30-yard line for a gain of about 7. And that will lead to 2nd and 3 with just over 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Usually the past 4 weeks when I've been calling games in the third quarter, it's been good for us.
Not
so much. But either way, shotgun set, 2 or 1 on either side. Owen Hall on the near side. Play action, looking to Braden McCorder, and the tight end will be incomplete, leading to a 3rd and 3.
Saylor got walloped right as he threw that ball.
Yeah, he did. Looking for Braden McCorder out in the flat, out of the tight end position, and just could not get it to him. Just kind of overthrew it, kind of lofted it a little bit. And they're going to bring, instead of the 2 tight ends, Hayden Cotton and Braden McCorder, they're going to bring in Alec Youngblood and Anthony Aponte into the game. Looks like, it'll be shotgun set, 2 on either side. Anthony Aponte and Owen Hall on the near side to Scotty's right, and Alec Youngblood and Nathan Schuessler on the far side to Scotty's left. And they're just going to, all that talking just for a handoff to Khalil Johnson for no gain, setting up 4th and...
I think he might have lost a yard there even.
They're going to mark him right. They're going to say he got back.
But something looking ahead to maybe not quite next season, but the next few seasons, because it seems like it took the other 2 of a couple of years to really build up their program. you look at how Carolina Forest, I'll mention it after this play call.
As there will be, I think they just got a free
I
first
think
down
they got an
offsides from Fort Dorchester.
But now, granted, Fort Dorchester, although it doesn't seem like they've been affected all that much by it, does have this issue with Oceanside. But now the work of all of the Horry County schools, and especially Carolina Forest being the one of the 3 5As, it's gonna get even harder now because Atlantic Collegiate was approved.
Right.
So now the top players from Carolina Forest are going to get poached.
Right. As the snap is taken and thrown out to Alec Youngblood on an out route, depending on where they mark him, this could be a Tony McAfee first down.
Not quite.
Not quite. Just 2 yards short. So gain of 8 there on the out route to Alec Youngblood. But to your point, some of these players could be getting poached. I.e. a Zion Gilbert maybe, but a lot of the big issue for Carolina Forest though is a lot of these players are seniors.
Well, yes.
You look at the wide receiving core. Alec Youngblood is a senior. Anthony Aponte is senior. Nate Schuster is senior. Owen Hall senior. Scotty is a senior. All of your key pieces are leaving after this year. It is going to be a scary season next year if they can't find a replacement. As Scotty's going to take the speed option, and this time it will be a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down, and he will be forward progress will mark him down at the 48-yard line for a first down. Speed option there. First time it's worked all game, and it's probably why they're losing the way that they are.
Yes.
But it is what it is. Still, okay, we were talking about this earlier, but still a very successful season.
Oh, yeah, no, don't get me wrong.
Nevertheless, no matter what the final score of this game ends up being, this is a very successful season. Scotty in the shotgun set, looking downfield for Owen Hall. He's going to have him in the middle of the field, and it is dropped. Incomplete, and
he had a hold of that and just could not quite hang on.
As his body was kind of swooping around. It kind of just fell out of his arms, and that would have been a big play from Owen Hall.
Yes, it would have been.
And I want to say this is second-string defensive line because Scotty's getting a lot more time in the pocket than he was in the first half.
I have a feeling that Fort Dorchester has definitely taken their foot off the gas a little bit and might have some second-string guys in there.
Yeah. Shotgun set, 2 on either side. This is going to be the fake speed option that we've been waiting to see, and he's going to throw it deep, and it's just going to be an arm punt. It's just going to be an arm punt caught by number 1, and he's going to return this and dragged out of bounds. Number 1, Nick McGill on the catch. He's a senior. He's got his interception, and we were talking about Scotty doing the, my wide receivers down there somewhere. That was it right there.
That was it. Well, it looked like, I don't know if it was Nathan Schuster or Owen Hall, but it looked like he might have been a little confused on the route because he stopped well short of where that ball was thrown.
There are 2 flags on the field, however. So
maybe a pass interference?
Maybe, but I highly doubt it. Both teams' offenses and defenses, respectfully, are coming onto the field. Carolina Forest defense and Fort Dorchester's offense. Well, actually, the offense hasn't come on the field yet. Refs are still discussing. They don't know what they're doing yet. It's going to be holding on Fort Dorchester.
So that's going to...
Oh, no, they're going to cancel.
Okay.
Okay.
So they're going to I guess it was after the interception.
It was after the interception, yeah. That makes sense.
So that'll just push the ball back to the 32-yard line, and that's where Fort Dorchester will take over with 3:05 left to go. So
basically they just net gained 5 yards for Fort Dorchester on the return from where the ball was caught. Either way, does it matter? Does it matter? Shotgun set, 2 on the near side, 1 on the far side. They're going to hand it off and will be blown up. Number 10. Oh, no. What?
Ryan Campbell.
Ryan Campbell? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, number 29 again. We don't know what we're doing here.
Well, it's also because they're bringing in their third and fourth and fifth string guys.
Okay, but to be fair, he's already gotten the ball, so I feel like I can't make that excuse
fair
again.
Enough.
That is my fault. Ryan Campbell on the carry. Shotgun set again, this time 2 on the far side, 1 on the near side. Snap, hands off, and tripped up, but he will still fight. Right to the 40-yard line is Campbell.
And again, out of all of the plays, I think at least 60% have been the refs just blowing the play dead because the Panthers have held them up but haven't been able to make the tackle.
Right. And this time Davian Brown will come into the game for Fort Dorchester. So back to people that we know and love. One thing, it's got to be really boring being a wide receiver on this offense. Just sitting there blocking the entire time. I mean, I'm sure you like it when your scoreboard says 39-7.
Yeah.
But shotgun set, and they will hand it off to Brown. And for no reason at all, the quarterback gets hit. But they will stop. Actually, they will stop Brown for a loss of 1, and will set up 4th and 3 for no reason at all. Number 20. I can't tell. Riker Roberts came in and just hit Osborne for realistically no reason.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Is that a punt unit?
Oh wow, yeah, you're right.
Unit.
So for the first time outside of the interception, the Panthers are able to get a stop.
However, it was 4th and 3, so odds are they'd be willing to just run the ball and get a first down. But, they're being nice. Yeah. They're playing nice now.
It's also,
39-7.
Yeah.
As the punt is away, it's a high punt, and it'll land at the 44, but then take a Carolina force bounce and will be scooped up at the 46. And looking at Scotty's jersey right now, it's looking very dirty. Mm-hmm. It's looking like he's been sacked a few times.
I don't think he's actually been – well, he's only been sacked once, but
4 sacks.
4 sacks. Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's at least 2 because he got sacked on the 3rd down and then the safety.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about the safety, yeah.
How'd you forget about the safety? How does one forget about a safety?
Because I want to forget.
Heard. Wanting to forget is different. Shotgun set, 1 on either side. Nazir Thompson on the near side, and I believe that's Owen Hall Nate Schuster on the far side. Hands it off to Khalil Johnson, Khalil Johnson on the carry, and will get absolutely blown up.
And again, not quite as powerful of a tackle, but still got pulled up a little bit.
Still got rocked a little bit. Yeah. He's going to feel that one in the morning.
And no, they'll have to run at least one more play before the end of the 3rd quarter.
It's almost the 4th quarter. What time is it? It is 9:22 here in Fort Dorchester, here at
Bagwell
State. I kept saying Gadwell, but I don't know where I got that from. Shotgun set. Scotty looking right now. He's going to launch it up to Nazir Thompson, and he will... incomplete.
No. It looked like the defender was about to intercept it, but he was not able to hang on to it.
And it'll be incomplete. I almost thought Nas kind of kept that one off the ground a little bit, and it landed in his lap, but they're going to say incomplete. Nas was kind of confused as why they didn't call first down, but that's probably because he thinks he caught it.
Yeah.
Right.
And unfortunately, in high school, you don't have instant replay.
Yeah, you don't. And I don't know that I would want instant replay for this game anyway.
True.
This 4.2 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, meaning they'll have to run one more play. 3rd and 13 here for Scott and the Panther offense. Shotgun set, 2 on either side. Anthony and Alec in the slot with Nas and Nate on the edges. Snap, looking left towards Nate. He's going to look deep on a comeback route, and it'll be well overthrown. There's going to be a pass interference at the end of the play, though, as the quarter ends. So when we come back, it most likely will be 3rd down again.
Well, let's wait to see what the flag is first before we take a break.
I choked on my spit.
And it will be a pass interference on Fort Dorchester, so that will move the ball up.
Wait, so did they get an untimed play?
Yes, I believe it does.
So they get another play in the 3rd quarter, right?
So they will get one more play here in the 3rd quarter.
Huh. Gosh darn it. Is this going to be like a Soccer City game where we just keep getting free plays over and over and over again? I hope. Well, Soccer City game from last year.
Yes.
Is what I'm referring to.
Yes.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the Fort Dorchester 42-yard 42-yard line. Shotgun set. Scotty with Khalil Johnson to his right on the near side. Nas also alone on the near side with bunch formation. Now Hayden will motion into the halfback position with Anthony in the slot on the far side. Snap, speed option, pitches out to Khalil Johnson. Khalil Johnson will find a little bit of a hole, but then will get taken down for a loss or for a gain of 2, and that'll bring up 2nd and 8 as the third quarter comes to a close. We will catch you in the fourth quarter right after this quick break.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And we are back for fourth quarter action here in Fort Dorchester as the Patriots have a commanding lead in this one, 39-7. But anything can happen in 12 minutes. Carolina Forest with the ball, 2nd and 7 at the Fort Dorchester 39. Brandon, do you like pineapple on pizza?
No.
You're crazy.
No.
And we will not be hearing from Brandon Biskabing after that comment. I wish it were that easy. Jeez. Don't you, Ian? Yeah. As he gives the A-OK for Brandon to not talk the rest of the broadcast. Carolina Forest offense and the Fort Dorchester defense coming out on the field. I mean, I guess, again, we found the silver lining that we won't get shut out. And I don't think this is going to be biggest losses territory.
No, and for no other reason, if any, the reason why I think is because Fort Dorchester has kind of taken their foot off the gas pedal.
Well, yeah, because considering we were en route to 64, nothing loss with the. There seems to be confusion on the field. Guys, there's 12 minutes to go. Let's just play. There's a 5-yard penalty on the Panthers. Delay a game?
I believe so. But yeah,
who knows?
They would have to get up to 51 to get into the top 5. So.
Oh yeah, that's not going to happen. I don't think. Shotgun set, 2 on either side. Owen Hall to Scotty Sailor's left on the near side, going from right to left in this game, or from now in the fourth quarter. Snap. And a handoff to Zion Gilbert, and he'll run straight through the offensive line and will get up to the 39-yard line for a gain of about 4, and that will set up 3rd down and 8. Just good run.
Yeah, decent run.
Decent run. Next year should be fun, though. I want to call football games in warm weather again, and that will happen next year. It'll be really interesting to see going into next year how they replace all of these stars.
Yeah, but then again, we said this last year with.
I was willing to see how the young guys, because they were all juniors, because the same junior core started last year.
Yeah,
as Sky's going to look deep to Anthony Aponte, but he will overthrow him, looking for him at the 35-yard line. Would have still had a couple yards to go for the first down, but just kind of overthrown the frame of Anthony Aponte.
But, I mean, you'll still have Khalil Johnson. You'll still have Zion. So your running game will still be intact. Like we talked about earlier on in the season, depending upon what the wide receiving core looks like, and assuming that Ethan Hamilton is the quarterback, you may see the offense go back to a more prototypical Mark Morris run type offense.
Right. Shotgun set 3 on the near side. Looking middle of the field for Owen Hall, and he will make the catch and steps over the defender like Allen Iverson. Considering the scoreboard, I don't know if that was the best decision.
No.
However, still got the first down yardage, and that will be the Fort Dorchester, 29-yard line, and a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. Again, I wish I could get excited for it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in a little over 10 minutes and 45 seconds, this game will be over, and we will never hear from these guys again, as Owen Hall will make the catch, but it'll be for no gain. And when I mean we won't hear from them again, I mean football-wise.
Yeah.
However, I do believe, actually, we've been saying the entire year Scotty doesn't have any offers, but I'm pretty sure I got word from Owen Hall that he does, but he does not quite remember where. It was some low D1 school.
Huh, okay.
I'd have to ask Scotty himself and just kind of
The only
ask
one that
him.
I could maybe think of, like, I know he was going to some camps and whatnot, maybe Ohio?
He went to an Old Dominion camp, too.
And yeah.
It might be Old Dominion, but obviously don't quote us on that because, again, we don't know. I'd have to ask Scotty himself. Shotgun set, Owen Hall on the near side. He's going to actually motion to behind Scotty. He's going to be looking for a screen pass, but over the top, Anthony Aponte, incomplete. He had Anthony Aponte in the slot, and Owen Hall was kind of motioning behind the play, kind of distracting the defense a little bit, and Anthony Aponte just kind of floated over the top and was able to.
But good job by the Fort Dorchester secondary staying with it and was able to knock that ball down.
Right. 3rd and 10 now for the Carolina Forest Panthers offense. Kick a field goal if you don't get it. I want to see J.J. Chedek's leg in action, honestly. That'd be kind of cool, though. Like, to see the extent of his leg.
He's another one. He's also a junior, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
So he'll be back.
Oh, yeah, we're going to kick some field goals to win games.
Yep.
Shotgun set, 2 on either side as Nas motioned into the slot on the near side. Sky's going to be wrangled down, but this is going to be a horse collar tackle. And there's going to be a brawl in the Carolina Forest bench. And number 34 for Fort Dorchester was kind of in the middle of a whole bunch of Panthers, and everyone on Fort Dorchester's side obviously stayed on their sideline, but everyone on Carolina Forest side is ganging around. I believe that was number 34. I can't find who that would have been, but whoever it was getting surrounded by a prowl of white jerseys for the Panthers. So
we'll have to see. That may offset the horse collar.
I don't think was there a flag thrown on the sideline?
You'd have to imagine that there was.
I don't think there was any pushes thrown, or I don't think there was any like punches or pushes or anything like that. I think it was just the horse collar.
Okay. Yeah, okay, they are just going to call the horse collar. So that will push the Panthers up.
Woohoo!
And now the ref's trying to figure something out, but now they finally moved the ball.
Yeah. They're moving the ball, and then the head ref is going to come make the call. Personal foul, face mask.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. I thought it was a horse collar tackle, but...
Hey, Ian, is the signal for horse collar and face mask the same? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the call for face mask and horse collar is the same. So
okay.
I would assume it was a horse collar.
I thought the horse collar signal was something like that.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Either way,
first down for Carolina Forest from the 17-yard line. Shotgun set, 3 on the far side. Nazir Thompson on the near side alone. Read option. Scotty's going to make one guy miss, and he's going to run into the end zone after a nasty juke move.
That was one of those counter read options again.
Yeah, and Scotty made a quick guy miss. Planted his foot in the ground and just scored. And, again, silver lining. Yeah. Scotty scoring another touchdown. That makes 18 in the past 5 games now.
And increases his record. Well,
no, it's not a passing touchdown.
No, it's not a passing touchdown. Good point.
As the extra point from JJ is up and good. And that will send us to 39-14 with 10:08 to go. We will catch you with the Fort Dorchester offensive drive after this quick break.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And we are back for more fourth quarter action here in Fort Dorchester as the Patriots hold a 39-14 lead over Carolina Forest. And very quickly, the away crowd for Carolina Forest has thinned out to less than it was earlier.
Yeah.
I mean,
a decent crowd, though, coming out for this game.
What we've learned this season is that Carolina Forest teams
travels well.
The fans travel very, very well. That is what we've learned this season.
Looks like they're going to go for an onside kick.
Woohoo! We're going to come back. Onside kick from J.J. Chaddock is across. And their play stopped. I'm assuming it's a
false start on Carolina Forest.
Was there a flag?
Yeah, I think there was a flag.
I don't see one.
Unless it was an inadvertent whistle?
Yeah, they're lining it up from the same. Oh, no, they're calling false start. They're calling a false start. Okay.
Oh, it was an offsides on
What?
Fort Dorchester. Huh, okay.
All right, then. Heard.
So that'll move the ball up to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, it does. But then again, it still has to go to the other 45 before.
Yes.
And Fort Dorchester is going to call a timeout here for whatever reason.
Ice the kicker.
Yeah, right. Ice the kicker. It sounds like an Ian comment when we were in Oceanside, when we were at the Citadel. You think they're going to punt it on fourth down? With the game on the line, down by 3? Lord have mercy. So I'm going to ask you this question on air just to kind of put some pressure on you.
Oh, God.
So Carolina Forest basketball, they play on Monday against Myrtle Beach at 7:30.
Yeah.
Well, are you taking your talents to Carolina Forest?
You still need to talk to.
I've been texting him during the game.
Okay.
I won't disclose financials.
Okay.
But there might be some financial compensation.
Okay. Well, then, if that's the case, then yes, more than likely I will be taking my talents to Carolina Forest.
And now you can rename the Twitter the Carolina Forest Athletics.
Yes.
Football or Athletics Network.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Now the only thing that I then need to figure out for the spring is how to do baseball, because I know the baseball field is not exactly
conducive to Carolina Forest or to baseball calling.
Yes.
Although you could just set up somewhere off to the side of the stands.
True.
You could, but you might not. I don't know.
That's for spring. But
As now JJ is now lining up.
Now setting up for a regular kick.
No. So
close.
Okay. So. Those onside kicks where the kicker just kind of runs up and tries to get it himself, that's what they just ran right there, but was not able to be recovered.
Came close.
Came very close.
But was not quite able to get it. So does that mean are you saying we do Monday?
I mean, I don't know that I can. Oh, well, actually, no, I take that back. I think I have something at 4, but I don't think the game's not till 7:30.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we might be back Monday. We might be on a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Shotgun set for Fort Dorchester, one on either side, hands it off to, I believe that's Campbell.
Didn't look like he got taken down there, yet the whistle was blown.
I don't know what's going on. As there's more scrum, this is just frustration from the Carolina Forest team. And Junior comes running from the opposite side to go run over to and there's a flag thrown. There's multiple flags thrown. This is just frustration from Carolina Forest. This is, I'm down 25 on the scoreboard, and I want everybody to know about it. Mark Morris is all the way on the field. He's
all the way on the FD in the center of the field.
Just frustration.
So we're going to have to wait to see what they're going to actually wave off the flag.
Yeah. So still a gain of 4. Is still a gain of 4 on the play? Going into gain of 6. I think. Gain of something.
Yeah.
Gain of a yardage amount. Yeah, gain of 6 on the play. Setting up 2nd and 4.
Although now the down marker finally moved.
Yeah. The past 2 games we've had rough down and distance markers.
Chain gangs.
Chain people. Well, shotgun, say it.
Has the clock moved?
Well, it moved on the last play, but I don't know why it's not running. They're waiting on the ref signal because the ref stopped the.
Well,
play.
I got that, but I thought it was at 10.
It was 10.
Like
it was
a
10.
few
It was 10:07.
plays ago.
It was 10:07.
Oh, okay.
No, the game clock operator just stopped, and now it'll start moving. Shortly, yeah.
Okay.
Shortly. Shotgun set, 1 on either side with Campbell in the backfield. Handoff to Campbell. Excuse me, that is Davion Brown in the backfield for Fort Dorchester. Looking at this offensive line, though, only one senior. One senior on this offensive line, and he's not even close to the biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest one is a 6'3", 305-pound freshman.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. What are they feeding these kids in Charleston? They're eating their Wheaties.
And some of their best players that have gone on to the next level have been offensive linemen.
Right.
So this is a big boy factory.
Oh. Okay. Shotgun set, 1 on either side. Handoff to Brown again, and he will get taken down at the 41-yard line. And again, still hand fighting and still just arguing on both, or like hand fighting on both sides. Screaming, get off the field. There's fans screaming, get off the field in Carolina Forest. I don't know what they mean by that.
Yeah. I don't know if they're just saying, concede or what.
Someone telling Coach Mark Morris to chill out. Heard. I get there's only 8:40 to go.
Yeah.
But at what point do the refs say enough is enough and like, hey, we're done doing this here?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, because you don't want it to boil into something bigger.
Bigger, right. What in the world is going on here? I'm telling you, we're in the Twilight Zone. 2nd and 6 from the 41-yard line of Carolina Forest. Fort Dorchester's offense moving once again. Although the dark blue on black does not help the number situation.
Oh, no, not at all.
Not even.
Although it's not the worst we've seen. At least they have the white outline.
All right. But the white outline's a little like shimmering. So doesn't help a whole lot. Shotgun set, 1 on either side, waiting for the ref signal. Finally gets it. Snap and hand off to Brown. Brown will run right into a prowl of Panthers who are going to shove him all the way back, but forward progress will stop it after a gain of about 2 to the 39-yard line, setting up 3rd and 3. So because I know more about basketball, do I get to do basketball play-by-play?
You may be able to do some.
Woohoo! For Dorchester, going to set back up in the shotgun. I wonder what they're going to do with the ball. Shotgun set, 1 on either side. Hey, how much you want to bet to run up the middle?
Probably.
Really? I would have never guessed.
And the Panther fans still trying to get a defense.
That was a pass.
On.
And
oh, my goodness.
Dropped. Incomplete. The pass was broken up by number 23. That is Cam, I believe. The clock is running. Yeah, there's Jamari Davis on the block up. Everyone calls him Jam for short. But the clock does stop, as the fan of Carolina Forest pointed out. 7:07 to go, and that will set up 4th and 3 from the Carolina Forest 39-yard line.
Are they going to punt it?
No, the Osborne is still on the field.
Oh, okay. Wow, they're going to go for it.
Oh my goodness! 4th and 3. Shotgun set, 1 on either side. Osborne trying to draw him offside with the cadence. Now does actually take the snap, and it will be handoff to Brown, and Brown will very easily get the first down yardage. That will be another Patriots first down. Call it going from Concord to Boston on the way back of a victory in the Revolutionary War for the militias, for the Patriots. I tried. I think there.
You did.
I did.
And failed.
I think I got my point across.
Yeah. Fair
First and 10 from the Carolina Forest 33-yard line. Shotgun set. I believe Ryan Campbell is now in the game for Fort Dorchester. Hand off to him, and he will get a gain of about 7. I can't tell where the first down marker is. Yeah, it'll be 2nd and 1. It'll be a gain of 9 on the Carolina Forest 24-yard line. Still 7.
Wow.
Still 7-0.
That's a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
That's not one of your favorite games. That's one of my games, the defensive struggles.
Right. And you saw Fort Dorchester's players nodding their head like, yeah, we want Somerville.
Well, because they beat them at the end of the season, so it would make sense.
Right. Handoff to Campbell will get enough for the first down yardage. However, there is a flag on the play, so this one could be getting called back. No one heard that. His number 66 is shaken up. Yeah, it'll be Tyreek Livingston who is shaken up, and who I'm assuming that chop block was against on Fort Dorchester.
Yeah.
Who that like the block was against. So woohoo. It'll be a 15-yard penalty, so it'll be 2nd and a lot. 2nd and 16. Hey, Brandon.
Yes.
What's your favorite song?
I don't know. I've got too many.
Jesus. Never mind.
What?
Fort Dorchester back on offense here from the 38-yard line of Carolina Forest. Season winding down for Carolina Forest, down 39-14 with 5:30 to go in the fourth quarter. Snap taken. It'll be a handoff to Campbell, and Campbell will bounce to the outside and will get taken down for actually a loss of about 2, I believe. Bringing him down at the 40-yard line was a prowl of Panthers. Manning Hitt was leading the charge on that one, and so many players that we saw. Remember when the first game of the season when we were talking about Manning Hitt transitioning from O-line to middle linebacker, saying, oh, God, he might not be able to fill Luke Janak's shoes?
Yeah, he's done a great job.
He's done
this season.
an amazing job. And maybe not, obviously not college level amazing, but for high school level transitioning from O-line, that is a great transition.
Yeah.
He's had a really great season.
Yes.
Shotgun set, 2 on either side, looking deep down the sideline, and he's going to flip it up, and it is incomplete. Almost intercepted by number 28, Jordan Sandiford on the far side.
Wouldn't that have been a little, silver lining if the Panthers would have gotten two interceptions?
Yeah, but look at the scoreboard.
Oh no, I agree. I'm just saying.
The refs are discussing something. There might have been a flag somewhere. Yeah, they're gonna. There's a flag for pass interference, I believe. Mr. Ian Guerin helping us out a little bit.
More than likely on the Panthers here.
Huh, really? No, it'll be illegal touching.
Oh.
Is that? Yeah, that's illegal touching.
Yeah.
Illegal touching on Fort Dorchester. Who touched it?
I don't know.
I didn't think it was touched.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I got that, but I didn't think he made.
I guess he made an effort on the ball, and it was thrown to him, so it, he was an ineligible receiver essentially at that point.
Yeah, I guess that works for us.
Yeah.
Not that it really
matters at this point with 4.5 left to go in the game.
And the refs are discussing something still. A horn blew. The refs, three of like the 8 refs on the field right now are in the middle of the field discussing. We're at the 40-yard line. I don't know what it's pretty straightforward. There's a penalty, and you get the yardage assessed to the penalty. They're going to march them back to Fort Dorchester's own 45.
Well, no, it'll be the Carolina Forest 48.
What?
Oh wait, never mind. The ref was set up on the 48, and so I didn't see.
The ref with the ball was set up on the 45.
The official.
So all I hear from what is going on? Look, they have the ball at the 45, a bunch of refs at the 40. Ian said it should be 3rd and 33 from the 45-yard line, which I believe he's right. Ian, are we in the Twilight Zone? In case you couldn't hear, he said, "I don't know what this is."
It's garbage time. This is what happens.
Ian, will they just call the game?
No.
Good answer. All right, so we will probably still be live for another 4.5 minutes. They're calling the penalty was declined. What is going on? The Fort Dorchester coach is talking to 2 different officials. I wish I had something to say.
Yeah, Can we just end this game?
If I could, if I was an SCHSL representative watching this game right now, I probably would.
And now they're going to move the ball back up to the Carolina Forest
40-yard line.
40.
And so the punt unit looks like it's coming on as it is 4th and 17 from the 40. Where are we at? This is not Charleston. We must have been sent to a different planet. It was when you gave me the wrong direction to go on I-26 is when we got lost. Punt formation here for Fort Dorchester with Nate Schuessler back to return, probably playing in his final 4.5 minutes as a Carolina Forest Panther. The punt was taken was landed at the 10 and will take a beautiful Fort D bounce at the 3-yard line. If that's not indicative of this game so far, I don't know what is.
I don't know.
1st and 10 from the 3. Can we see a 2-safety game?
That's what I was about to ask.
I'm not rooting for us to get a safety against us, obviously. However, if it were to happen, it'd be pretty funny. When was the last time that happened in Carolina Forest history?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You know what's ironic?
Huh?
You want to know when the last time the Panthers had a safety recorded against them?
Fort Dorchester?
Last season against Fort Dorchester.
That's actually really funny.
Yeah.
Well, we could have our first ever double safety here. We are setting new boundaries here at Carolina Forest. Shotgun set, 2 on either side with Anthony in the slot with Nas on the far side. And they'll throw a slant to Nas that will be incomplete. It skipped into Nazir Thompson's body. And it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 3.
It looks like they're gonna say they caught it.
No.
Oh no, never mind.
No,
I thought they were marking.
That's what you get for thinking. We gotta have some type of fun here. Come on. It's gonna be a long car ride home too. As long as you don't put me on I-26 again, we should be all right.
No, we're not doing that again.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be making sure the GPS is right. Refs finally giving the signal to start the play clock. 4:17 to go in the 4th quarter. And for this Carolina Forest Panthers regime, especially the wide receiving and Scotty Saylor, as he will take the pass and throw it to Nate, as he will make a guy miss, makes another guy miss, and will run out of bounds at the 16-yard line. But there's a flag in the general area of the play, so I'm assuming it might be a holding or a block in the back of some sort. But for this wide receiving core and Scotty Saylor, this is going to be an even longer ride home.
Yeah.
The the memories you make playing sports at the high school level are something else, as it was a penalty on Carolina Forest, so that'll set them back to the 5-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8 from the 5-yard line.
And now the safety is in play once again.
Yeah, but it's going to be really weird not calling Scotty Sailor's number this year.
Yes.
It's gonna feel like you calling Kyle Watkins and then having to go to Scotty.
Yeah. And, well, what's going to be even weirder because he's been, I mean, granted, the first couple of years.
As the catch is made by Owen Hall, and that will be enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down at the 18-yard line, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what's going to be even weirder, granted, he wasn't as
potent last year?
Well, he wasn't as targeted the last 2 years as he was this year. But Nate Schuessler has been on the varsity team for the last 3 years.
Right.
And now
he will be
gone as well. This will be a brand new team pretty much next year.
Right. Shotgun set, slant route to Nate Schuessler, and that will be dropped right at the 30-yard line. Incomplete pass with 3:34 to go. 2nd and 10 from the 18-yard line. And I don't want to say my senior season calling this team will be a waste. However, next year is going to be very, very different.
But see, I will say we thought that was going to be the case with this season. Yes, you had Scott coming back. Yes, you had Nate. But there were a lot of unknowns coming into the season.
Yeah.
And you were thinking, okay, you know, what is this team really made of? But they played very well.
Right. They played very, very well. And they're going to finish with an 8-5 record. And if you tell me at the beginning of the season we finished with an 8-5 record
and make it to the third round
of the playoffs, I would have told you that you were crazy. Up until probably the Sumter game.
Mm-hmm.
I would have said after the Sumter game.
Even after the Sumter game, maybe, because of how it finished.
Right. Shotgun set, 3 on the near side. It'll be a screen pass to Anthony. He'll have a lot of ground to make up, but he will get the first down and a lot more. He'll be down the sideline playing in his final game as well. He will be pushed out near the 40. Yeah, he'll be pushed out of the 49-yard line for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. And Ethan Hamilton coming up the pipeline as probably the starting quarterback next year. A little bit more of that running quarterback that Coach Mark Morris tends to gravitate towards with 2:30 to go in the fourth quarter. It will be very interesting to see how that offense looks next year. Shotgun set, 3 on the far side. DeMarcus Kraft is now in the game on the near side. It'll be a comeback route to DeMarcus Kraft, and depending on the spot, that could be a Tony McAfee first down, and it will be.
It will be.
Right at the first down marker, right at the 38-yard line.
But see, here's something else that's going to be very interesting for next season that I have yet to see.
39-yard line.
That I have yet to see since I've been here is, as I will say it after this play.
Shotgun set, 3 on the far side. Looking to that far side, looking to his right, throwing it out, and it is caught by Nathan Schuessler on the far side.
But
for another Tony McAfee first down.
But you know, the first year with Kyle Watkins, you had Luke Janek.
Right.
Last year you had Luke Janek as well, even though it was Scott at the helm. But next year, yes, it's going to be a more running quarterback style, but you don't have that dynamic running back.
Yeah.
That
to balance
you had.
It out. Yeah.
So yeah, next year is going to be very interesting.
Rolling out to his left and flipping back to his right is Scotty, but it will be an incomplete pass intended for Owen Hall, the little tunnel screen that we've seen a couple times this year. For those still listening, I will be posting our team superlatives, if you will. MVP, offensive player, defensive player. If you've been listening to us all year, I'm sure you can tell who defensive player and offensive player are going to go to. But MVP, I think, is between two of the people that we're looking at right now, Scotty and Nate.
I think you have to go with Scott.
Yeah.
But, yes, Nate has been very key for this team as well.
Yeah, right. A handoff to Zion Gilbert will get taken down at the 24-yard line, and signaling for a clock stoppage is the ref. I couldn't tell.
Because here's how I think about it in terms of that question. Scott without Nate, yes, he wouldn't be maybe quite as good, but he still has plenty of other targets.
Scotty looking deep, and he's going to step up in the pocket, and he will fire eventually, but it will be broken up, incomplete, setting up 4th and 6.
However, Nate without a pocket quarterback,
Like
as
Scott
we've
is.
seen over the last few years,
Yeah.
is not nearly as productive.
Right. So maybe a little sneak peek, maybe throw Nate an OPOY recommendation.
Yeah.
We'll say, I mean, I think you can make an argument for Anthony Aponte in that area too. But with how Manning Hits played, I think that
He's
was
definitely got to be
a
Defensive
no-brainer.
Player of the Year, yeah.
Shotgun set, 2 on either side. They're going to look deep for Owen Hall, and that will actually be a touchdown to end this game. Owen Hall with the touchdown catch in his final game as well. He is also a senior. Could you ask? I mean, that makes the score a little bit more respectable.
Yeah.
39-20 as of now, pending the extra point. Yeah. Just, I wish there was a silver lining, but this is definitely against a second-string defense. As JJ's extra point is up and through, and for the final time probably this season, JJ will knock an extra point through, and he's knocked a lot of them through this year.
Yes, he has. And a couple of field goals.
Right. And that is something that we did not see the past couple years was field goal kicking.
So 46.7 seconds left to go in the game.
And you'd have to assume that they just take a couple knees and end this game out.
Now, not that it would do anything, but do you kick?
No.
Do you go for the onside?
You've scored your touchdown, you'll be all right. And we talked about this during the game as well, but I told you going into this game, no matter how this game ended, it was a successful season.
Yes, it has been a successful season. The fact that they made it a lot further in the playoffs than a lot of people thought, even with the weakened bracket.
Yeah.
Still, the fact that you make it this far, and it looks like they are going to go for the onside kick, actually. But yeah, the fact that you made it this far, it's still a successful
It's a testament to the resilience of this team, I think.
Now, would you have liked them to, have a little bit of would you have liked them to have gotten to the lower state championship? Obviously, but,
And as the onside kick is recovered, they did go for it. It's at the 49-yard line. Somerville beat Sumter 7-0. That's a first 30 years of the NFL type score.
So it will be Fort Dorchester versus Somerville in the lower state championship. Both Region 5 teams getting eliminated.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense. Region 7 is definitely the cream of the crop in terms of the lower state.
Yeah. It really sucks for this Panthers team. You never want to go out on a loss, but very rarely do you go out on a win, and you see all the players hugging each other.
Well, only one team goes out on a win.
Right. As Fort D will take a knee. They'll have to take one more before this game is over. But even in the press box, I'm seeing air float in front of me, and that means it's cold.
Oh, yeah. It is.
So
and I'm wearing short sleeves and shorts.
That was a you problem, my friend.
Yeah, that was a bad decision on my part. We're going to need the heat up in the
Yeah,
into the car.
actually that will end the game. So the game clock is lower than the play clock, and that will, in 10 seconds, will end Carolina Forest season after a very good season for this Panthers team. They will now officially finish 8-5, 3-1 in the region, and did advance to the third round of the playoffs. But all of it comes falling to the hands of the Patriots. Call us the British in the American Revolution.
Well, we are red.
That will end the Carolina Forest season. I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. And for the last time this season, Brandon, for the football season
For
anyway,
the football season, at least, we will let you guys know what's going on with basketball.
For the end of the season, for Brandon Biskabing, I am Preston